We'll save it for the review.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Start us off.
No, that's you.
No, you do it. You're doing it. Oh, by the way, everybody thought you were a complete dumbass. Because you're like, I start off the intro and I'm like doing like perfectly fine. You're like, you suck or something. And then I'm like, why? And you're like, well, that one part was good. And I'm like, okay, so you compliment me? Like, you're not telling me any reason why I suck?
Well, you're up, so go ahead.
You're up. We take turns. You know how it goes.
No, you never said that. You said you were the host.
I said it now. No, I fucking never said I was the host. What are you talking about?
You clearly said last show you were the host.
I said last show. I said I'll do this one.
Yeah, but you're gonna say I suck, and you're gonna.
No,
fuck
I'm
me
not.
up.
I swear to God, I'm not even gonna say that.
Well, you're gonna say what I always say. JF1
I'm not gonna say
era.
anything. I'm just gonna let you intro the show, like a respectable co-host does.
Luckily, oh wait, I had to get that guy's name. Mike Default. He's a dick because he missed me in a review.
All right, let's go.
Totally unscripted, right?
Yes, unfucking scripted. Apologize for missing last week. Yes.
Who would have thought it would have took that long to find some tampons?
Yes.
I'm not fucking
I
saying
know
that,
you're
dude.
not, but I'm
just saying, this movie is not good. It's actually really bad. You know what? I'm not saying don't go out and see it.
Yeah, that's a foreign edition, dude.
How is this foreign? It's Anchor Bay.
A lot less bitching from horror fans, because that's one thing that you get used to.
It's just so sad. It's just so fucking sad. Dan, I don't know how the fuck.
Well, I totally nailed that one. It's gonna make me mad. Like, it's gonna piss me the fuck off.
Fuck me, man. I don't know.
I showed Moodz a girl blowing a dog one time.
Okay, oddly enough, I gagged about 45 times and I watched the whole fucking 12-minute video.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, what are we doing here?
You're listening to a 22 Shots production.
Alright, what is going on, everyone out there on the interwebs? This is Jeremy, a.k.a. NES Ruler 22, coming at you live from 45 minutes outside of Chicago. Yeah, buddy, we're going old school today with my amazing hosting abilities. And on this episode of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror, which is episode 160, we are joined once again by the a.k.a. fill-in master, D. Boucher 708054, a.k.a. Derek. And, of course, we're joined by the Mexican, who is still a piece of shit.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why would you intro him before me?
I don't know, because he's the guest and he's cooler than you.
Oh. Okay.
You know,
clearly
this
you...
is and he's not a slacker like you.
Clearly you had a better intro than I did last week, correct?
Sure.
Do you feel like
I thought you said that you were just going to let me do the intro.
I did let you do the intro without saying anything.
But I'm not finished. I didn't tell everybody what we're going to be doing.
Okay, I didn't know you do that. Continue.
See, you fucked me up now. I just want to say this Mike Default guy, he's a big fat douchebag dickhead because he commented on a fucking podcast and he said that JP and Moodz is awesome and he called me the other guy so he could go suck a chode.
That's true.
It is true. He's a dick. And he said that about 2 weeks ago and I didn't forget, which is pretty good. But
no, I'm saying it's true that me and Moodz are awesome.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. This makes me feel even more better about myself and my podcasting abilities, which are already horrible as it is.
Yeah, more better.
More better. Uh-huh. You know that's the way I go. But tonight we have a pretty simple show. We'll shit the breeze on the intro, talk about t-shirt sales, stuff like that. Then we'll be hopping into some news from Mr. Mexican himself. Hop into Box Office Brawl, say the results for Brightburn, and since Moodz isn't here, we can't give our picks for next week, which is a pretty busy week in the world of movies. And then we're going to be doing what we watched, and then some feature reviews from Patreon, and then we'll talk about Hagazussa. Is that how you pronounce it, Derek?
Hagazussa.
Oh, it's close
H
enough.
is silent.
Hagazussa.
The H is silent. Well, that's a good explanation of how to say it. So let's get into it. So, guys, I will be covering the Cinepocalypse Festival here in Chicago from June, It's June 13th through the 20th of June at the Music Box Theater. This is a place that I talk about all the time. And a few years ago, they brought this festival. The guy who directed We Are Still Here. He brought this festival here to Chicago, and it's pretty much like Fantasia Fest. It's not as good, but it still shows a bunch of films that are on the festival circuit.
Well,
and
isn't it still in its infancy also? Isn't this only the second year or third year?
It's the third year. So like I said, it's still pretty, early on in its run, but they brought this a few years ago, and they bring all these festival movies that play at South by Southwest and Fantasia Fest and all these different festivals. And like I said, it's going on from June 13th to June 20th. And I am luckily being able to cover this for you guys come that day.
So we're going to have a special bonus episode. Probably, I would like to get it done almost directly after, like within the first couple days of after it.
Yeah.
Not sure if it'll be... It won't be like a regular episode. It'll just be a bonus thing. But I'm excited, and I'm not even going.
Yeah, we got some really cool stuff. We have Glenn Danzig's new movie, he of course is the guy from the Misfits. He of course he's the vocalist. He directed a movie called Furutaka.
Really?
And he stars in it, and he directed it, and it's seems kind of interesting. That's opening up the festival. Some other highlights: we have a 70mm print of Flatliners. That should be pretty cool. Let's see. We have Gar versus Rock and Roll Nightmare. So Gar is going to come and do like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of riff on Rock and Roll Nightmare, which of course Thor was a big part of. So that should be cool. That's happening Friday night. Then they're doing some other stuff, Gar. And then we have Total Recall, a 70mm print of Total Recall with the man himself, Michael Ironside, in person for a Q&A. We have The Lodge, which I'm really looking forward to. That's the new movie directed by the team who did Goodbye Mommy a few years ago. It looks really, really good. I'm really excited to check that out. We have Hot Dog the Movie, which is a sex comedy from the 80s, a new 4K restoration of that. We have Darlin, which is the third movie in the Woman franchise, I guess if you want to say now. Now it's a trilogy. The Woman returns, the famous woman who is in our franchise, in our intro week after week. This is another film with her in it, so that should be pretty cool to see the Woman back on the screen. Tammy and the T-Rex, the film I'm looking forward to the most in the festival. This is the original R-rated gore cut, 35mm world premiere. So I guess they made a uncut R-rated cut of this movie, which is like a PG-13, like straight to VHS film from the 90s that has who is Paul Walker's in, a very young Paul Walker, and it's like a really horrible, horrible film. Accordingly, I've never seen it, but they supposedly made an R-rated cut of it, and this is the first time that it's ever going to be screened, so that should be cool. Looking forward to that. Some other stuff we have on Tuesday. We have Mr. Joe Bob Briggs coming to Chicago to do his How Rednecks Save Hollywood show, which I saw a few weeks ago, about a month ago now, in Milwaukee. So I'm very excited to see him again, see what he has to say about Chicago and rednecks. That should be pretty fun. And, yeah, just some other films that were on the festival circuit that I'm going to be checking out. So should be a fun time covering that for the show, and should be cool. So that's that. T-shirts are now available in stock. I have them. If you guys want one, drop me an email, nesruler2222@gmail.com, or go to the 22 shots of moodsandhorror.com. There's now a page on the website. Click on top, it says store. You could directly order a shirt from there. We got like 50 shirts left, so about half the stock of shirts are left. So if you want one, go ahead and grab one. Please support the show. That'd be awesome. Everybody who ordered one, the shirts at this point, since the episode is up, they should have been shipped. If you're a Patreon member, they were shipped yesterday on Tuesday, and everybody else, they were shipped on Tuesday. So stay tuned for those. They should be popping up in your mailbox very soon. I think I got everybody. There was like 45 of them, but I think I had a good enough system laid out where I was able to not miss anybody. So Those should be cool. They came out really nice. I was very surprised with the quality that they actually turned up. All the colors are really good, and I think people are going to be happy with them. So that is T-shirt update. And JP, you got anything else?
Well, I mean, I wanted to comment on some of the stuff you were talking about, but you didn't.
Okay, go ahead.
It's an opportunity. So let me ask you this: Are you like staying in a hotel, or are you coming back home every night?
Coming back home every night?
How far of a drive?
It's in Chicago.
So 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
It's just like going to work every day.
So, now have you let your work person know that you're going to be, like, busy?
It's not my work person. It's a whole bunch of work people. I'll just say that I'm not available to work when they text me and ask me if I want to work.
Oh, okay. I always thought there was just, like, one or two people that hit you up, but... I guess you have a bunch. So that's pretty cool. So no matter what, you're going to this, you're not going to, like, if a job comes up or something?
I mean, I'm pretty much going to try and go to all of them.
Yeah.
You know, at least all the ones I want to go to.
I think you should do as much as you possibly can so you get invited back next year.
Yeah. Well, I'm planning to, so.
Yeah,
it's only a week, so I'm not going to, it's not going to kill me or anything.
No.
Yeah, buddy.
What'd you say, Derek?
I was just going to say, you definitely got to make that Tammy and the T-Rex one, because that movie's a trip.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, that's like a rare credit. I would assume, it's going to come out on Blu-ray or something pretty soon, but because AFA is releasing it, and I know they do a lot of genre stuff, so I am curious about that. I have a feeling that one's going to be a packed house for it, because that's such a weird credit, and... it's going to be cool. I'll be able to go see all these movies for free and not pay $175. So that should be awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, buddy.
So, what is the title? You said it's Darling?
Darling.
Darling? The title
That's
of
the mother.
Sequel.
Well, yeah.
Is Angela Bettis in there?
Is that who plays the woman?
No.
It's Pollyanna McIntosh who plays the woman.
I'm actually interested to see where that story goes. So that's another one that you have to check out. And then, yeah, that's pretty exciting. So that'll be a bonus episode coming up here, which I've actually was in talks with a guy who regularly goes to what's the big fest in London or over in the UK? You guys know what that one is?
Oh, fuck, I think I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of the name.
It's a huge festival. I forget what it is, but they show, like, tons of stuff. But is it Fright Fest?
It might be. It might have, like, a town or name in front of it or something.
Yeah,
but
well, either way, at one point I was talking to a guy who regularly went to that, and I wanted to have him come on and give us the rundown of all... What is that? Give us a rundown of all the films that he got to see, but for whatever reason it never happened. And honestly, if there's anybody out there who regularly goes to these like festivals that show a lot of the new indie films, I would love to have a regular segment where you would come on every year and give a rundown of what you saw, because I think that that's one of the things we kind of we used to focus a lot more on back in the early days of the 22 Shots, like what films were hitting the festivals, and like I remember always talking about like this film is getting good reviews and stuff like that, but I haven't really done that in so long, and we don't really talk about the festival circuit stuff anymore, but I would love to get some more of that content. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I hear you, man. It's always good for like any show in general.
Yeah. This fucking amateur. Welcome back.
I'm sorry, dude.
You're sorry?
You were in the middle of a conversation.
You're
what was
an
I going to
amateur.
say?
Why did you move your fucking mic? Why are you moving furniture in the middle of the show again?
I wasn't moving furniture.
Dude, you hear, it's like... opening
My dad's
doors
yelling at me. I'm sorry.
and hearing people yell.
Yeah, he's yelling at me to move my car. I'm sorry.
So why didn't you mute the mic?
I forgot to.
Oh my god. This is JF1 era.
Sorry. Are we still going?
Yes, we're still going.
This is great.
I was talking.
I didn't know he's coming home. He's fucking yelling at me to move my car.
Jeremy, move your fucking car, damn it.
Yeah, because it's fucking raining out.
But anyway, so yeah, I would love to cover more festival circuit stuff. It's always been one of my like number one goals. Like I have to do it one year. I need to like save up money and go to one of these festivals.
Oh, you can just come to me.
Come to you?
Yeah, come to this one.
Yeah. But I would feel pretty mad about you getting in for free and me having to pay. Just saying.
Or we could just split it.
Yeah, that would actually. We should do that next year.
One gets in for free, and then we split the other one.
Yeah.
Or you just use the Patreon money, because that's what it's for.
That is true. Yeah, maybe we should look. Man, honestly, like I would do if they do that next year. I would do that. But
ooh, JP's actually committing to something.
I also want to go down to Jason's house and go to his festivals. He goes to two of them.
South
I think,
by
right?
Southwest,
South by
and he does. I forgot what the other one is.
Is it Fantastic Fest?
Oh, that's in Ontario.
Oh, that's the Canadian
that's the good one.
Yeah, that's what's Fantasia?
I don't know. That's just the name of the festival. I don't know what the fucking.
No, I'm saying where's that one at? Fantasia.
Ontario.
I thought you said that was Fantastic Fest.
That is.
Those are the same thing?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
I don't think so. It might be. But anyway, yeah, I used to follow the festival circuit way more. I miss that.
Me too.
Yeah. Because it used to give me, like, such hype for stuff coming out. You know what I mean? Like, because usually the festival stuff we don't get till, like, the following year. But it was still, like, I had a bit easier time of, like, knowing what I want to see for the top 10 show of next year, you know, like, keeping up with, like, the positive reviewed films.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's something that's going to be pretty cool. It's our first coverage of a festival here, besides like the 24-hour marathon. That's kind of like a festival. They usually show like one new thing, right?
At least one new thing.
Yeah.
So you sure came this year. We'll be able to see Joe Bob.
Yeah, I know. All right, so shirts. Yeah, those things look amazing. Can't wait to get mine. You could probably send mine now, and I'll send the extra money over.
So what? It's just what size? Forgot.
I need 2 larges, and then you could send Carly's medium with me.
Okay, and I'll send Derek's 4XL out.
Thanks, Jeremy.
No problem. Don't worry, Neil's a 4XL too, and he's an asshole.
So is Sam.
Somehow.
So Sam.
Sam is the most surprising.
I didn't realize Sam was 4XL.
Sam's
like in his
a big
profile
dude.
picture, he doesn't look like he'd be 4XL.
That's because he never changes his profile picture. It's probably from high school or something.
I don't know. It just you look at it and go like, huh? You wouldn't think he's like.
He is like 6'1" or something.
But I guess he's big boned.
Yeah. So Derek, you're back here. Thank you for coming on. Mike's streak has ended 3 in a row. He was trying to beat your streak of what, 11 in a row?
It was like 14 or 15.
14 or 15. Jesus, I thought it was 11. Wow. That's like.
Well, JF1 era came to an end. Somebody had to take my spot.
Yeah, we had Kyle for a little bit.
Well, nobody likes him
Kyle
anyway.
got in a marriage or something and then just disappeared on us.
Had another kid.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it on the show during the Children of the Corn review you guys did.
What?
Yeah, he had another kid.
That was a joke, I thought.
No.
Are you sure? I've never seen this other kid.
He
I
had
think
another kid. I'm not joking.
What?
Yeah.
How come I never hear about this kid?
Because he never posts on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, he's mostly Instagram
But
now.
I was like regularly podcasting with him during the time after that show. Because that was his first episode.
No. When he came back to do the wrap up.
The other, okay.
Yeah,
the other children.
The one where me and Matt were on too.
The roundup.
I must have forgot about that. Jesus.
Oh, he has 2 kids.
Damn.
He's got to make that Apple money.
If Moodz has another kid, we're fucked.
I know. It's going to be the end of the MF1 era.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, because, woof. But
He barely has time now with one.
I know, man. I miss doing the show. But, we're taking our summer break. We're going to be back for the 72 show in just a couple weeks, actually. And I just wanted to let everybody know that one is going to debut on Patreon and stay there for at least a week. So it's going to be, because we've been slacking on the exclusives a little bit with that, timed exclusives. We don't do official exclusives, but the timed exclusive thing. So, $1 gets you in and you get to hear it early. So that's pretty.
A whole week early.
Yeah. At least a week. Might leave it there for a damn month. Who knows? You better bite the bullet and get a
Patreon subscription, so you could afford JP to come here next year.
Yeah, right. We need to start building money, because those shirts, they wiped us out.
Well, sort of. We're still doing pretty good.
We're doing okay, but we were
buy a shirt.
Buy a shirt. Support the 22
also
shots.
Gonna have, or else the local Goodwill is going to have 22 shots in horror.
I'll tell you right now, if we won't be printing more until this stock is nearly completely depleted. And honestly, the more that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know if I want to do that design ever again. You know what I mean? Because if we have to do 100 shirts, you know what I mean? So I don't think I don't think we would need 100 more of that design. So
yeah, or else you're going to be flipping through the channels one night on your TV and see a UNICEF commercial. And the black kid in the background is going to be wearing a 22 Shots, Moodz, and Horror t-shirt, because I'm going to send all the ones we don't sell to Africa, just like all the sports teams do with all their own stock.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious.
Or you get a booth at that Fantastic Festival you're going to, or whatever it's called, and sell them there.
Yeah. I actually thought of taking some to the drive-in in September, maybe. Because they sell shirts there. I don't know if anybody... See, that's...
Oh, yeah, because everybody's going to line up to buy 22 Shots.
Well, here's the one thing that's cool about the 22 Shots, Moodz, and Horror shirt. Is, even if you don't know what it is, it looks like a cool horror shirt, right? It's basically the Maniac design.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I would... If I just saw that in the store, in a Walmart or something, I would...
It just makes me laugh. Moodz is I'm going to buy a bunch and put them out for sale at my wife's shop. Who the fuck's gonna buy them?
At a hair salon.
Yeah, give me one of those. Give me a blow dry and one of those 22 Shot shirts.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Hey, you never know.
What the hell is he thinking?
Dude, I don't know.
Remember when he's yeah, send me a bunch. So
maybe he has the podcast playing as the background music,
he has it makes it seem like everybody knows him in his town. The way he makes it seem like.
Yeah, they probably do. He's famous.
George is pretty big. He is famous. He is a YouTube celebrity. So
yeah. Well, hell, I told you people. Whenever I show people my videos or something, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I think I seen you in the sidebar of that Moodz guy's channel."
I told you. One time somebody recognized me. They're like, "Oh, I know you. I think I saw you on the side of Moodz 616's video before." I was like, "God damn it."
Yeah, and even Carly found my videos before she knew that I made them, because she found Moodz's videos online and I was in the sidebar, and she's like, "Holy shit, I work with that guy."
Yeah.
But yeah, so buy a shirt. Long story short.
Yeah. Buy a shirt, $24.99.
And we will if we we need to build more money again, and then we could do a second design, something new, something cool.
One's already in the works.
Yeah, so
it is.
We need to sell more, because we don't have the capital to actually buy more shirts right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I honestly think that it went over really well.
We sold 45.
I honestly expect, truly, I'm being honest, I expected to sell 15 to 20 in the first month, and I was blown away. And Moodz hasn't even put an episode on his channel yet where we talk about it, which is a lot where our views come from, and 2, he hasn't made a video about it yet, which I would assume that after he makes a video we might sell a bunch more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, my video didn't do jack shit, so My amazing 2-year hiatus from YouTube made a huge bang.
How much views?
200, but
That's
nobody
pretty good for
commented.
you.
And
You normally get like 6.
no, all my videos are like 300 to 400
Yeah, after like months of being up.
after a year and a half. Yeah, that's all right.
But I
Would've
think
thought
you should
somebody would've bought
return
a
to
shirt.
YouTube. Let's get a fund going to return Jeremy to YouTube.
So now we have a fun to get me laid and a fun for me to get back to YouTube. We're perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just do that myself. I'll just buy you a hooker.
But it has to be a 10 out of 10 hooker.
No, I don't even think a 10 out of 10 hooker would go for you, bud.
Oh, thanks. They'll go for anything for a amount of bucks.
I don't know, man. They'd be like,
Yeah, man.
That's the job.
that's even out of my pay grade.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Who do you think I am, Turi? Like, come on. I'm not Turi.
Tramp stamp?
Chicks like
Delamore?
tramp stamps.
Shut
Look,
up,
we
Derek.
can't-
You're
we can't-
ruining the joke.
We can't.
You won't
hate
hear this
on-
anyways.
We can't hate on Tori for he bought a shirt, right?
What the fucking do? That's like saying Peter gets fucking immunity because he supported the Patreon.
Well,
Just
according
because
to
he bought a
Peter, he
shirt.
does get immunity.
Did you see he posted on Jerry's page and Jerry banned him and he messaged me. He's like, you know, Peter sent me a message on the page and said like 22 shots are losers or something like that. And I was like,
Jesus.
here,
Jerry
yeah,
didn't even like him.
yeah, I'll read what he messaged me. He like wrote me like a mess, and that's weird because me and Jerry don't talk. But he like messaged me. He's like,
I haven't been talking to Jerry like I used to. Jerry was my like number.
yeah, he posted on the Skeleton Crew podcast page, 22 shots are rude. And then Dave C said, they aren't rude. Granted, the people who didn't like you should have just blocked you, but they aren't rude. Fucking Dave C. And then he said, I booted him.
He has a point. I agree with that.
True that.
Just block him.
I did block him a long time ago.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying he's like the people that were complaining about him.
I blocked a lot of people that I didn't want to see all their posts on the Facebook page.
It's the way of Zach.
Nah, I've only banned one person besides him. But, got any news, JP?
Yeah, I do. But give me one moment.
See? Now he's making fun of me being unprofessional.
Because I still had something to say about Peter.
All right. What do you have to say about
he just messaged me randomly and said moopsie boopsie.
Yeah, he did that to me too, though. Remember? But then I blocked him. I even made a post about it. I was like, what a fucking weirdo. But when did he do this?
Like last week. And I don't even know, like I wasn't even part of the moopsie boopsie thing.
I don't even understand what it means. I still don't understand what it means.
I guess it was the name of the fucking hamster he put in his pants.
He put a hamster in his pants?
In the fucking video that somebody posted on the Facebook group.
What a weirdo.
Wait, he put a hamster in his pants?
That's what it looked like anyways from the video.
Huh.
Wow.
So,
It's one weird ass dude.
yeah, I don't know, man. I thought we weren't going to talk about him again, but
You?
he just keeps coming up.
Just when you thought you were out.
No,
they pulled
don't
you
even
back
say that I brought him up because you did.
I know.
Okay.
Because Jerry never messages me, and then he messaged me. He's like, yeah, I blocked him from Skeleton Crew. It's like,
Nice.
well, that's a
All
good
right,
thing.
let's go ahead and get into this damn. I was trying to figure out what he actually said to me, but I couldn't remember, so I had to look it up. But let's get into the news, and the first little bit of news is pretty huge news. It is involving me, and I just want to say that I'm officially announcing.
Get on with it, you fucking loser. Jesus Christ, no one gives a shit.
Anybody who's a fan of the podcast Under the Stairs out there.
Why didn't you
Duncan's
say this
show,
during the intro? How the hell is
because
this
this
news?
is news. This is huge news. So
No, it's not. No one
I
gives a shit.
am officially going to be part of the 90s Top 10 Summer Series. I couldn't be more excited because I love those shows that Duncan does. He did, I believe, the 80s last year, and the year before that it was the 70s. And every time when he, announces them, I always miss the boat. But this year I actually got on the boat, so I'm pretty excited. Why don't you be a little respectful for other people's podcasts for once? But yeah, this is going to be huge, man. I'm super excited. It's not how we do our top 10s. It's completely different. It's a whole summer long extravaganza thing with tons of different podcasters. It's very complex how he does this stuff, and it's super huge. Just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. So look for me on that during our summer break here. You can find me over there. So that is the first bit of news. Pretty big.
That's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome,
Thank you,
man.
Derek, because I know you actually appreciate other podcasters. And
I listen to Duncan's show all the time. It's great. I mean, like you and me did the Puppet Master.
Oh yeah, you were on the Puppet Master too. Which one did you get?
I got part 2.
Oh, I got part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, should I even do this? Because we had just covered the Puppet Master films. I was like, oh my god, I gotta watch these again. At least I only had to watch one. Yeah, that was my first time with. And Jerry just told me to let you guys know that me and Jerry will be reuniting. So, me and Jerry will be reuniting.
Congratulations, no one cares.
Good stuff, man.
Jerry wanted to know what Jeremy said, so I will let him know that he said congratulations, no one cares. All right, let's get into the news. The first bit of like real news besides my news is Saw. It's Saw related.
Yeah, and he doesn't even want to talk about this because he's a loser.
Okay, so let me hear what is going on.
No, you have it pulled up. You say it. You're in charge of the news. You weren't going to talk about it, though, so that's why I had to say you weren't going to talk about it.
So, apparently, Chris Rock is going to be doing... Why? I don't have it pulled up.
He's doing a Saw spinoff with Darren Bronson. Darren Lynn Bronson.
Jesus. Darren who?
Lynn Bronson.
Lynn Bronson. Is that like Charles Bronson's cousin?
Mm-hmm.
Daryl Lynn Boundsman.
Close enough.
Darren Lynn Bousman. I mean, it's only your favorite fucking film in the series. Part 3.
Part 2?
He did part 3, too.
Yeah, that's what I said, part 3. Yeah, Darren Lynn Bousman, who directed more Saws than anybody, apparently is going to be doing a... Like, what do they mean by spin-off, right? Like, does that mean...
It's like it takes place in the universe, the Saw universe, I guess.
But it's not Saw.
You all know it's going to be pro-black bullshit again, just like Purge election.
Wow, Jesus.
It's going to be that shit, and you know it.
What? Why do I... What? What? I did not think of that at all.
It will be Black Lives Matters. I know.
Why do you say that? Like, where's this coming from?
I'm just saying it's going to be a hood version of Saw.
Why?
Because Chris Rock's going to make it that way.
I literally don't see the connection. Because Chris Rock is black?
Absolutely.
So since
he's
Chris
made
Rock...
black prominent movies. That's all movies he's made so far.
Like
so I would
what?
assume this one. Let's see, what movies has Chris Rock directed?
Is he directing it or producing it?
Writing it.
Okay, so he's writing it.
So he's wrote a bunch of black prominent movies, such as Down to Earth.
I don't know what that is.
Let's see. Top 5, I Think I Love the Wife. Both are black prominent cast movies. So I think it's going to be a hood Saw movie.
I'm not sure, buddy. I don't think that...
Well, I guess we'll find out, and then when I'm right, you guys are going to admit that I'm right. Episode 160.
Yeah, I got to see maybe a picture or something, before I make any assumptions.
I never considered like Chris Rock
because he does some weird art house movies too.
He does a lot of comedies as an actor.
But he's writing it.
Yeah.
It will be a black Saw. I'm telling you. I'm gonna call it now.
I mean, I don't really have an issue with a black song.
I didn't have any issues with it either. I just said it's going to be propaganda bullshit, like Election Day.
I mean, no, okay. Like, let's cool the stove here for a minute, buddy.
All right.
Is Jordan Peele's Us and Get Out black propaganda bullshit?
No, because it's not in your face like Election Day is.
Yeah, so what makes you think just because...
I just think because it's a mainstream fucking big movie, that Lionsgate.
So Get Out and...
No, they're different. They're not part of a
mainstream
franchise.
big
They're not part of a
movies.
franchise.
Okay, you didn't say that. You said mainstream big movies.
Okay, franchise movies.
Okay, so since it's a franchise...
Mm-hmm.
And also, The Purge was a franchise. That automatically...
No, he's going to use what's hot in pop culture right now.
Well, isn't Get Out and, fucking Us more popular in culture than, say, The Purge 4?
But it's not in your face like The Purge 4 is.
I know, but I'm asking you, what makes you think that it's going to go that way versus the other way?
I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I just think Chris Rock is going to write a Saw movie for the African American crowd. And we all know.
Honestly, I think that the Saw movies are... Like, I see a lot of the African American crowd, but I see a lot of the black crowd. I don't say African American. At the Saw films.
Don't you have an experience with a black dude at Brightburn this weekend?
Dude, yes. I can't wait to talk about this. Oh, it's so fucking funny, man.
So you're gonna tell it or what?
Are we gonna? I figure we're gonna review Brightburn. No.
No.
Why?
Who's gonna review it?
Me and you. You literally said we're gonna have to talk about Brightburn when we go see it.
That's not what I said. I said, aren't you going to talk about the story about the guy in Brightburn?
I'm saying, like, in chat, like, a couple days ago before we went and seen it, you're like, we're going to have to talk about this on the show.
I never said that.
You definitely did. You definitely
Whatever.
did.
All right, fine.
All
I guess we're going to have to
I guess
wait.
I'll tell my story. Okay, so I'm sitting there watching Brightburn we're in the Dolby Theater, which is... Jeremy completely convinced me on Dolby, because now I want to see everything in Dolby.
Brightburn was really good.
It really is awesome in Dolby.
Yeah, that was good.
And so there's this black dude sitting right next to me. Like, the chairs are, the recliners are pretty close together. And we're laughing at stuff, and it's fun. And there was actually a lot of black folk there. I don't know why.
It's not a black folk movie.
I mean, yeah, it's just it just so happened that there was a lot of black people at this one, and you always I always notice, because I feel like they're more vocal about things, and this fucking dude was sitting down a row in front of me, and I'm not even joking, man. It's like he's in his goddamn living room by himself. He's like,
yeah.
Go ahead, he's like, that's how you do it, or something. He's just like so loud.
And this is not the movie to do that. It's not like
it's
a
not
slash
like a comedy.
movie.
It's not even like a comedy or anything. Like this the scene where the little girl's mother at the diner gets attacked. After the final where he scoops her, he's like, oh shit, or something, you know what I mean? And I could see the dude next to me was getting pretty fucking annoyed, and he's like, man, I'm about to fucking say something. I was like, yeah, man, that dude's fucking way too loud. And then a little bit of time goes by, he fucking yells something stupid again, and this other fucking dude a row over from me is not the dude that I was talking to.
Yeah.
This other black dude, he's like, fam, shut the fuck up, man, for real. he's like, shit, we're trying to, he's like, fam, shut the fuck up. And then, the dude next to me is like, yeah, man, please. And I was like, yeah. And because I had to jump in, because my dude next to me, my theater buddy, is
your homie.
Yeah, I feel like I have to support his decision to say something, because whenever I say something, it's just me. and then like it doesn't feel as impactful. But
you only yell at children. So.
Well, I yell at if it gets on my nerves enough, I'll tell him shut the fuck up, you know. But dude was like, "Fam, shut the fuck up for real," or something. Like, which, you know, he's like basically saying, "Look, I know that we're supposed to be brothers and stuff, you know, but at the same time, shut the fuck up." That's why I said "fam," you know. And then so the dude next to me was like, "Yeah, shut up," and then I was like, "Yeah," and Carly's like said like my voice was the deepest she ever heard it, and like and like I don't know why, but like subconsciously I felt like I had to match their tones.
Yeah, to be a bro.
Yeah, I was like, you, shut up. But you know, I felt like I had to back my dudes up because like I was with them 100%, and then the dude got up and left and came back, and Carly's like, "We're gonna get shot." She's like, I kept thinking about Colorado, like when he came back, and I was like, when he walked back in, I was like, we might get shot actually. But after the movie, then like the dude that was next to me, the one black dude, was like, that we started getting up, and then the dude who was like, "Shut up, fam," he looked over and he's like, "Oh shit, is that you?" And like they knew each other, and he's like, "I thought that was you, man." They like walk over and like give dap right in front of us and shit, and like they're standing right in front of me, and they're like, "Oh, my bad, dude, I didn't mean to block you." And it was just fucking funny because like we basically made like theater friends with like these two black dudes because we each hated this other dude who was being obnoxious.
And they knew each other.
Yeah, but it was funny because they knew each other. Like the two dudes who said something like knew each other, but didn't know they knew each other.
Oh, I thought it was the loud guy and the other guy knew each other.
No. It was
that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been fucking funny.
He's telling them to shut the fuck up, and they knew each other.
Yeah, but
that'd be funny.
How did you know that? Carly tell you?
Yeah, Carly told me.
Oh man, it's so funny, man. We have like.
It seems like every time.
Honestly, like that theater, might be honestly one of the very first times that's ever happened there. But it was also the loudest. Like I've never seen somebody literally just talk like they're in their own living room. Like,
I had that during the Avengers.
It was so weird, man. It was like
I had that during the Avengers and
does he
Strangers
not know he's
2.
in a room full of other people?
Well, when I saw The Stranger 2, there was these two black people doing it. No offense to black people, I'm just gonna say it. And at the end of the movie, this guy got up and said, "Thanks for ruining the movie, you fucking assholes," and walked out. It was like,
well, that's why you say something during the movie, or you go tell on them.
They did say it during the movie. He's like, "Shut up," and they didn't shut up.
Oh, dude, The Strangers 2 got completely ruined from these old fat white bitches, like 40-year-old, annoying as fuck. Just white.
That's what happens when you have recliners. People think they're in their living room.
This was not at a recliner one. This was at a cheap fucking 30-year-old seat one.
AMC Classic.
Yeah,
which is really a car mic.
Yeah, is that what they are?
Yeah.
See, because it used to be a car mic, and I was telling my friend, I was like, or Carly, I think, and I was like, look, these seats have literally been here since I was in middle school taking my girls on, like, taking little middle schoolers on dates. Like, the same fucking seats.
All the AMC Classics were car mics.
Yeah.
And AMC bought them, and they're like, oh, these are nice enough theaters to, like, redo and make them AMCs. So this, like, took the signs down and made them AMC Classics and charged, like, $6 instead of full price because they're shitty.
Yeah. They need to remodel that theater, dude. Because it honestly is like, it's not that bad if they would just fucking take care of it. It's just so old, man. Yeah. And movie, like, I swear, like, now versus, like, when I first started going there, like, they're way more busy. Like, not when I first started going, I've been going there since I was a kid, but, like, I'm saying, like, since I've been doing this podcast, like, in 2013, 14, like, it was dead there. But, like, I feel like there's a renaissance with, like, movie going, because things are packed a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use A-list there, can you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can. Actually, the waterfront is a classic too, but it's really nice. So I don't know. Anyway, so what do we think about that? Well, we know that you think that
I'm kind of pissed off about it. I don't want to see that.
Did you not want to see it because you think it's going to be black propaganda?
No, I just don't want to
bullshit,
see a Saw spinoff.
Okay, so do you think that it could be like so? But you hated Saw 8.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't think it was good.
Yeah. So, do you think that? Okay, so your main issue is like that it's not following continuity, or
yeah, I wanted to see another sequel. I don't want to see a spinoff. What are they going to make it, a Marvel Universe kind of BS? I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the only thing I keep thinking when thinking, like, Saw spinoff, I just picture, like, a copycat Jigsaw killer or something.
I don't want to see that. Do you want to see that?
Well, I like the Saw movies, so I'm kind of down for whatever. But I would prefer if it was Saw 9.
But it's our franchise, bro.
Yeah.
They're going to ruin our franchise with a fucking spinoff. What happened if they made
did ruin it, according to you and Moodz.
What happened if they make a Friday spinoff? You want to see that?
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
I want to see anything Friday related now.
Yeah, but if they made a spinoff instead of another Friday movie, you'd be pissed off.
Yeah, I would probably.
Exactly.
What do you think, Derek?
Well, with like the word spinoff, it leads to, I just don't know what the fuck it's gonna be about, because I don't know any plot or images or what the fuck. So I'll just see what it is when it comes out, Mm-hmm. So I can't judge it from this article yet because it's not even made yet. I don't think,
I don't even think it's written yet. So
yeah, so it's very, very hard to tell at this early stages of it,
Mm-hmm.
There was an
who's going to be in.
Good.
I was going to say who's going to be involved from the original series or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think Bloody Disgusting put an article up that was like very pro for this because of the fact that comedians are like killing the horror genre right now, according to them. I mean,
how the only person killing is Jordan Peele, and he's not even like.
That's what my main argument is like, yes, Jordan Peele is absolutely killing it, but I don't think Danny McBride and them killed it as much as other people are pretending they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why the hell would they say that? Like, it's not like comedians are making horror movies a lot.
Well, the Danny McBride and Jordan Peele was I don't know if they said someone else or not, but I didn't really read the article. I just saw the headline.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving on here, A Quiet Place 2 moves up 2 months early, so it's going to be in 2020, and it's now going to be March, which originally was slated for May.
Yeah, because the first one was May, I remember. It's a year ago already. That should be cool, I guess. I like The Quiet Place.
Do you know why? I don't know what the reason was they moved it up.
No, they didn't say anything.
There's something big coming out during that.
I don't know.
Week.
Yeah, maybe. I have no idea. Like, maybe it's like a movie that's coming out bigger. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. After that, it looks like Alien is, as we know, is now with Disney, 20th Century Fox, and basically Ridley Scott was in a chat with the Hollywood Reporter and said,
"Shut up, Derek."
What is that?
I don't know. Ask Derek.
That's the washing machine.
What?
Very loud.
Who the fuck puts a washing? Who are you, Andrew Schroyer?
It's all the way downstairs. That's how loud it is.
Jesus.
This is why we don't have guests.
Yeah. You get the point. So this is what he said. He says, you get the point when you say, okay, it's dead in the water. I think Alien vs. Predator was the draft idea, and I'm not sure it did very well or not. I don't know. But it somehow brought down the beast, Scott explained, first reflecting on the road to Prometheus. And I said to them, listen, you can resurrect this, but we have to go back to scratch and go to a prequel, if you like. So we go to Prometheus, which was not bad, actually. No, I think it was fucking great. But there's no alien in it, except the baby at the end. Thanks for spoiling Prometheus. that showed itself
10 years
a possibility. I mean, is it really?
Well, 7 years.
No. I mean, it had a silhouette of an alien, right? The alien is uniquely attached to Mother Nature. It simply comes off a wood beetle and will lay eggs inside them, unsuspecting insect, and in doing so, the form of the egg will become the new host, new creature. That's hideous, but that was what it was, and you can't keep repeating that because the joke gets boring. I think it's just tough. The joke wears out once you've seen it twice, 3 times. It's no longer frightening. So we're looking where we're going to evolve. So apparently,
Alien Covenant sequel.
I don't think the joke got old at all. I just think that the film got bad.
What, Covenant?
Yeah. Because, like, I loved Prometheus. Covenant was not good.
I told you how they should have ended Predator, dude. They should have had fucking Michael fucking just show up out of the...
Yeah.
That would have been dope.
You know what my main problem with Alien Covenant was it felt like they stuck the alien in the middle of the movie when it felt like it wasn't supposed to be in it. I think because everyone was complaining there was no fucking alien in Prometheus, so they kind of shoehorned...
His name was David. You know, at the end of Predator, when they're like, when they fucking reveal the Superman suit, they should have fucking had David pop up and fucking make an Alien first Predator movie that way. That would have been dope. They're not smart like that, though, like I am.
I just don't think they want to do another Alien versus Predator right now.
Until they finish the other movie, you know what I mean?
I just feel like now they've rebooted Predator. It's like...
Plus, that wouldn't have worked because the timeline doesn't make sense.
How so?
Because Alien Covenant is set in the past, I believe. Or
but
the
he's
future. It's not set in present day.
I mean, it could still happen, though.
What, like time travel?
Why can't David still be around today, even though Covenant happened in the past? He's a cyborg.
So what would his reason for coming to Earth be?
I don't know. I'm not the fucking writer. I just thought it would have been a cool idea.
Well, it has to make sense, right?
I like it, but yeah. That'd be kind of awesome. I would agree, but it had to make sense in the timeline of the story.
Yeah. Damn it. See? It would have been cool.
All right. Next up, we have a film that, speaking of, festivals, it premiered at Sundance, and it is Patrick Brice, who did Creep 1 and Creep 2, which are awesome. Have you seen those, Jeremy?
No.
Dude, what the fuck? Somebody give Jeremy Creep 1 and 2 for Patreon next season, because he needs to see those. I think he'd really dig them.
Yeah, they're good.
They're really good. This is a cannibalistic horror comedy called Corporate Animals, and it was acquired by Screen Media and will hit theaters and on demand on August 9th.
Screen Media is still around.
So
I haven't heard that name in a while.
That's a film that we'll check out as the year progresses. Cast includes Demi Moore and Ed Helms, who are the
Ed Helms?
Yeah. So Lucy is a delusional CEO of a struggling startup aimed at millennials. In her infinite wisdom, Lucy leads her staff, including her long-suffering assistants, Jess and Freddie, on a team-building retreat to the caves of New Mexico, led by an overeager guide, Helms. Dude, Helms is going to be so funny as an overeager guide. When disaster strikes and the food runs out, mandatory office bonding becomes a lot more appetizing. So it sounds like a funny cannibal film. I'm down.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. Plus, Creep 1 and 2 are really awesome, and they have some great comedy elements to them, like black comedy, so hopefully it'll be more along the lines of that.
Yeah, man.
So
I thought you actually meant like a black comedy. I'm just joking.
Bad joke.
So, people are going to think you're racist pretty soon.
I know. That's all right. They already
he said,
do.
I know. He's like, I know.
They already do after my fucking Purge review that I did 2 years ago now.
Is it 2 years? I thought it was last year.
Is it really only a year ago?
Yeah.
God damn.
So I reviewed that movie too with Mike and Venom, and it was like, oh, Yeah, it was an hour I didn't get back in my life.
Yeah.
So,
They announced a new Purge.
they did announce a new Purge.
Yeah.
We should have segued off of Chris Rock's Saw with that.
Yeah.
Purge, the final Purge, I believe it's called, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know.
I keep saying it's been the final one. The third one was supposed to be the final one. I thought. I remember.
The first one.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Or wait. Is this the fourth or fifth one?
Fifth.
Jesus.
Part 5.
They did a TV show too.
Yep, and it got renewed for a second season.
Jesus. You know what, man? The Purge, I just don't like the movies that much. My biggest beef with The Purge, and I think that actually I seen somebody from Bloody Disgusting mention this too, and I completely agree. It's like a film that has so much potential. Like the concept of it is genius, and they just don't do well with it. They just fucking shit
like
the bed
Purge
every
3.
film. I mean, I like Purge 3. I like Purge 2. I even kind of liked Purge 4.
I think
But-
Purge 2 is my favorite.
I just think that they're fucking weak compared to the concept. It's such a high concept, right?
Yeah.
Murder's completely illegal. Everybody can kill each other. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I always feel like the films, and I said this in my Purge 3 review, I believe, the films feel as if they are attempting to walk the line of an exploitation film, yet they pull it back and go political instead, and it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and the whole like thing about them that kind of bugs me is they are labeled as like horror, but they seem more like action movies in a way too.
Well, that
like,
last one did especially.
Yeah.
yeah, like a John Carpenter Escape from New York like action style, you know.
Well,
Which I'm
if
fine
people-
with, but
They keep making money, people will go. So
Yep. So
and they keep making a shit ton of money. So
after that, this is not really horror news, but we've kind of been discussing it a little bit. John Wick Chapter 4 has officially been dated for May 21st, 2021, which is 2 years from now.
well, they usually take 2 years.
Yeah. So John Wick Chapter 4 is coming, and it's... I mean, I think that this franchise is pretty hot right now. $100 million opening weekend at the global box office for Chapter 3. I fucking loved it. I think it's probably my favorite one, honestly.
Nah, part 2's better.
I don't know, man. This one had such good sequences. Like, that knife sequence, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying it didn't have
Bro,
like
That's the
it's-
best sequence in the entire franchise, I think.
It's the closest you're gonna get to a Japanese martial arts movie made in the U.S. on a big budget that you're gonna see probably
what about,
ever
like,
again.
The Man with the Iron Fist? Wasn't that the RZA's movie?
yeah, it was.
Yeah, but
That
like I
doesn't
mean,
count.
like a successful like franchise.
What about
like,
Kill Bill?
Kill Bill, yeah.
yeah, but that's not like really like super like fast paced hand to hand combat like
Yeah, it is.
fuckers.
That's literally a Japanese fucking or Chinese martial arts film.
Yeah, but I don't feel it's like. I don't think
Your
it's
Are you
argument
thinking
is
of, like,
flawed. Damn it.
whatever.
Are you thinking of like modern like Japanese action movies, Jeremy?
Or just like hand to hand martial arts, like kind of kung fu movies. I think it feels like a kung fu movie, and I feel like American audiences really don't, shell out money at the box office to see kung fu movies.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it has that. It definitely has that vibe. But it's. I think the thing that I like about John Wick so much is that it's like my biggest problem with action. I don't like action films. My biggest problem with them is I never feel like the character can do the stuff that they're doing, like jumping from building to building, like while explosions happen.
Yeah,
and
but this
dodging
one has
through
one
bullets.
retarded thing at the end that breaks all that, though.
Well, this film for me, it's like more believable, and it's not believable, but it's
No.
more accepting because of how the films are set up, where everybody knows John Wick. Everybody knows how badass he is. They're like, oh shit, John Wick? Oh fuck. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like it builds him up as this almost this legendary mythological person, and I think that is the key to why I like John Wick.
See, what I like John Wick is the way that they do the story. That's the one thing I like about it the most.
I think this one's mythology like really opened up and was really cool.
No, it's just like if you put them all in like Final Cut and you piece them all together, you could watch them all as one long movie. Like if you just like take out the credits.
Yeah, I love like, any film.
It all makes sense. Like, and not too many movies like do that. Like,
not
yeah, much. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
But I think like with the fourth one, they have a spot to like take a break between movies. I don't think it's going to be like completely continuous now. Not it's going to give spoilers, but I think like they have like a chance to be like, oh, now there's going to be like a week break or something between this one and the other, which will make sense. I think it will be even more badass if like there's like a week break or something between the movies where like shit really be able to like build up to go down between the upper table and the under the table. I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I think that like this one needs to be like even bigger and fucking better because like at this point I'm like, what the hell else can they do? Like, you know what I mean? But it's so cool, man. I just like the film series. I honestly didn't expect to, but I thought it was super fucking cool. And
it's all over a dog, bro.
Hey, it's not just
don't
the
kill
dog,
him, I know.
Hell yeah. Glad you like him.
But yeah, did you see 3, Derek?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm waiting
out.
for my dad to come back. We're gonna go see it together.
That's a good film. I want to take my pap to see it before it goes out of the theater. But anyway, this is funny because like Bloody Disgusting posted an article about how John Wick has now killed more people in 3 movies than Michael and Jason have combined.
Yep.
84 people in John Wick 1, 128 in John Wick 2, and 94 in John Wick 3.
Jesus
so that's
Christ.
A total of 306 people in 3 movies. That's an average of 102 people per film. And Jason has killed 157 in 9 films or 12 films, sorry, and Michael has killed 140 in I think 12 films? I don't even know. But that's a total of 297 in 20 plus movies. Man, that's
like
crazy.
They're different genres, you know.
Oh yeah, of course.
I just don't think you could have Jason killing 150 people in a movie.
No, well, one, he doesn't use a gun.
The purpose. Yeah,
but I think that the next Friday the 13th should take a little note and redo like that cornfield segment, but fucking make it even more brutal.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah. So yeah, that's John Wick there. After that, we got a update announcement for the 3rd installment of the collector series. This film is going to be titled The Collected.
Yeah, buddy. Which makes sense.
And Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton wrote the script for this, which is pretty cool. It kind of came out of nowhere, but I'm pretty happy with that. I still haven't seen the collection. Yeah.
I like the collection.
I like both of them. They're fun. Yeah. Cool movies.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm a fan.
Yeah. After that, we got a couple...
Now we need Laid to Rest 3 to come out.
Do we, though?
That's actually happening, I think.
Yeah, I know. Do we? I mean, I don't know. Laid to Rest 2 kind of sucks, but...
Can we get Jason Priestley to take over for the Brian Austin Green role?
So... Lee Winnell's The Invisible Man has released a March 13th, 2020. So just next year. Less than a year away.
It's Blumhouse, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that because I like Lee Winnell and I
thought this monster universe was dead.
This is like another attempt at it, but with Blumhouse and not Universal and more like... Seems like it's more horror based.
But doesn't Blumhouse only work with Universal?
Yeah,
they'll probably put them out, but
it's probably going to be lower budget. It's not going to be like huge, like Universal did the Dracula one,
The Mummy,
or the Mummy. I always fucking think it's Dracula for some reason. It's fucking so irrelevant and boring, and it's like, who cares? But I think this is the better attempt. Like, that was such a fucking dumb idea. Let's take our fucking Universal monster movies and make them action heroes. Whoa, this is gonna be cool. Fucking stupid.
Tom Cruise.
After that, we have Shudder announced that even before the final episode that Joe Bob is coming back for another season of weekly shows. No date on the actual.
Like, how long could they take to record, to be honest, you know?
Well, I think that it's smart to take a break between, because, look, check this out. You have, the first one had 12 films or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they did 4 Phantasm films, and then they did 4 more films for Thanksgiving. And then they did fucking, what?
18.
18 films in this past... That they've done so many films so far. Shudder doesn't have a unlimited supply of, you know, films to do. They are a network that, you know, has to license this stuff. So I think that taking a break is smart. Plus it gives Joe... Like, honestly, when I watch them, I'm like, dude, how does he come up with this so fast? Because he has these, like, giant monologues of, like, everything. It's not just horror-based. It's like, all of a sudden he'll talk about some car or something, and he'll go deep into...
Oh, he's pissed off about the Hemi-Cuda and it's getting destroyed in Phantasm 2.
I know. I just started watching Phantasm 3 the other day on that.
He hates that shit.
I've been going through and trying to rewatch the ones that I missed.
That's like a $2 million car now.
Yeah. But he'll just go on rants about, like, random shit, and I usually agree with what he's saying, but it's just like the episode with the Changeling that I just watched, he goes into, like, the fact that it's a highbrow ghost film, and he's like, you know, it's highbrow because on 15th Street in New York City, like, he just I'm like, how does he know this? Like, he's like right down next to the fucking Books Depository building or something, you know? I'm just like, how does he know what's on that street? Like,
because he's Joe Bob, he's all knowing.
Yeah, but dude, I'm like, this is awesome. It's gonna give me time to actually watch the because I was watching weekly for like the first 3 and then I kind of fell off because I was busy like every Friday night. But I'm gonna catch the ones that aired the past couple weeks and catch up and then be ready for the next season. But yeah, man, this is super fucking cool. Like, cannot wait for this to continue. I'm so happy. I don't
get why they wouldn't do it. I don't think they're like expensive to do, so it's like it's a no-brainer not to keep doing them.
And honestly, like, I think they're a huge hit. Like, it doesn't seem like people are falling off either. Like, every Friday I see people talking about it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
I love it. And I feel so proud because I've fucking tooted this horn for so long and said, this needs to be a thing. And it almost feels like it was fucking, like, you know, something that I was very attached to. And, you know, I make the joke that I fucking created this thing, but I did.
Sure you did.
It's not a joke.
That's like me. That's like me when I'm posted on Vinegar Syndrome's wall to release Night Beast like 30 times.
Oh, see, you created a Night Beast release.
Yes.
Last up here, we have Sean S. Cunningham's The New Kids, which is a film that I saw way back in the day. I wanted to revisit that forever. Is coming to Blu-ray from Mill Creek in its retro VHS packaging. I'm not mistaken, but this film doesn't have a release, does it?
I saw it was up for pre-order today for $8.79.
Well, let me just go pre-order my copy right now, then.
Yep, $8.79.
I love Mill Creek.
They keep releasing stuff like this. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're releasing some other, like, movies that haven't been released on home video before, too. Some other stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Shit.
Yep. And then after that, the final little bit of news, not horror technically.
Can you just say that the last piece of news before the last time with the Sean S. Cunningham?
Well, it was the last 2 pieces of news, like the last type of news, because it's another release thing. We have Stand By Me, the Stephen King classic, is coming to 4K, and careful, J. Murph, it's a joke.
Yeah.
But coming to 4K, and one of the coolest fucking things about this is they're releasing it with never before seen extra footage.
Yep, bonus footage. It's like the Breakfast Club Criterion they released last year, where it had a whole bunch of never before seen deleted scenes. This is going to have some deleted scenes in it that's never been released, so that should be cool.
Which is one, like, I don't know what you are, like, if you're a fan of Stand By Me.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's like one of my favorite movies. Oh, that Mothra Steelbook is down to $13.96 too.
Yeah, no, I pre-ordered 2 of them.
2?
Who are you, Turi now?
What do you want 2 for?
But I'm sending you one.
2, Jeremy.
What the fuck? Why don't I ever get sent anything?
Wait, who are you
Jesus
sending
Christ.
one to?
Huh?
Uh-oh, you put him on the spot.
I'm mailing you one because it's your favorite kaiju.
Who, mine? Oh,
Yeah.
It is that fucking... I didn't even realize that's the same movie. For some reason, I was thinking of Gamera the whole time.
Oh, we're doing Gamera when we come back, so...
I'm not... listen, I think the new Mothra looks fucking cool.
Godzilla just looks cool. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
Can't wait to see that shit.
Anyway, that is
a good
it
segment.
for the news. Yeah, that was a good
Cool.
one.
Yeah.
See, we don't
All
even
right.
need moods. Oh, man.
Yeah. Fuck.
I'm
it.
just kidding.
go
I'm
for
just kidding, guys. Don't come after me. Of course we need moods. But yeah, I upgraded to 4K finally. I didn't fully upgrade though. I bought the TV. Step 1 down. I just need to decide if I want to get a actual 4K player. I was looking at a Sony one, or I'm gonna get the Xbox One X or S. I don't know. I can't decide, but that's probably gonna come by the end of the summer, I would say. Aren't you?
Yeah,
proud?
buddy. What about The Shining on 4K? You didn't say talk about that.
I totally forgot about The Shining on 4K. Yeah, Shining coming to 4K. 4K is getting exciting. One of my favorite things about 4K right now is, like, a lot of the horror titles are getting really cool covers. Like the Alien one and the Pet Sematary one. Super dope.
And The Shining one's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Shining one's pretty cool. But yeah, it's kind of cool to pick up some of these titles. And, you know, like, the Alien one was so dirt cheap. Like, how do you pass that up?
Yeah, The Shining's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it'll probably
But I
drop.
pre-ordered it, so...
But yeah, so are you happy? Because you're probably the leader in 4K in all of 22 shots, like the group and everything. So
Yeah.
Are you happy that I finally got a 4K TV?
Yeah, but you have to get a good setup now.
What do I need for a good setup?
Get a sound bar. You're not going to use those shitty TV speakers to watch your shit, are you?
What? Okay, so I just need you to guide me through here, 4K Master.
Well, if you're going to be watching 4K... Like, I'm surprised you don't have a sound bar now with Blu-rays.
I used to. I had a sound bar and, like, a whole surround sound. I gave it to my Pat because I don't know. It was something that he wanted, so... I just need to. I do need to upgrade my sound. I literally do use the TV speakers.
Yeah, that's.
So I do need to upgrade my sound. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping by fall, you know, I'll have everything, my whole setup complete. Like, I want to go big on this. So.
And then when you like watch DVDs, they upscale it to 4K so they look better. I mean, they're not going to look like amazing.
Yeah.
But they look better. And I'm kind of pissed off Hannibal flopped really bad for Kino because I don't think they're ever going to release anything
but they're
again
blaming
on
it
4K.
on the fact that it's 4K and not the fact that it's fucking Hannibal and nobody really cares about Hannibal. If it was Silence of the fucking Lambs, that shit would have been fire.
Yeah.
But, like, nobody really... Like, Hannibal was not, like, a beloved horror film.
Yeah.
It's, like, okay. It's, like, decent, but...
I don't know why they didn't do Fistful of Dollars first. Like, I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
Because they just do like last year a 4K restoration Fistful of Dollars. It's like I think that movie would have sold a hell of a lot better than Hannibal.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Walgo USA is getting into the 4K game next month, and not next month, and August 13th they're releasing a 4K movie, so that is pretty cool. And The Legend of Boggy Creek is coming to 4K.
Dude, I can't wait. Like, honestly, whatever that cost, I'm buying it. I know it's limited, but here's the reason why. Hear me out. That film looks like ass on every release that exists. Every one. Yeah. It looks horrible on Shudder, the Joe Bob episode. Horrible. To see that film cleaned up can completely change your experience with that film, because I've never seen it in good quality. And I was looking at the trailer and I'm like, my God, this is like a completely different movie. So I think that it's a must buy, in my opinion. I actually like the movie.
Yeah, but Vinegar Syndrome does that with all their movies.
What?
Like, make horrible movies look good and it looks like a completely different movie.
Yeah, but I don't even think Boggy Creek is a horrible movie. I just think that the transfer sucks on every release.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see, like, how limited it's going to be, or is it not going to be limited, or...
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like, is it limited or is it not? It's like, that's speculation now, but they didn't really say.
It's just such a weird movie. Like, that's like the first, like, cult movie to get a 4K. So,
yeah, I would probably say.
Kind of interested, curious about it.
Who would have thought?
I know, Boggy Creek, the first cult movie to get 4K. It's so weird. Maybe not Scream Factory.
Other than Evil Dead, really, isn't that a cult movie?
Yeah,
but
it's
not
more of
like...
like a studio title as well.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that is like one of the first, more cult that became more of a studio title over the years, but like nothing
it's
about
not like
Boggy Creek is fucking studio.
Yeah, I hear you.
But
I'd like to see it finally getting some love.
Yeah, that's
dope.
Cool. So, what do we have next?
Box office Brawl. Let's talk about Brightburn. I got boned. So this is from Thursday through Monday because Memorial Day, and stupid ass me, JP, fucking cheated and didn't say it because I forgot.
I'm surprised you guys didn't try to fight me on that. Like, we never said that it was going to be for 4 days, and then I already had my counter ready. Yeah, exactly.
Because I would have fucking won if it was Friday through Sunday, like it usually is.
You killed it. That's why when I seen what you guys picked, I was like, yes. I was like, I think I got this one.
So Brightburn made $9.5 million Memorial Day weekend, $7.5 million Thursday through Sunday. So JP wins.
Wait, how much did it make?
$9.5 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So JP beats me and Moodz.
Which is very important because I was not doing so well, and this is going to be the start of my amazing fucking comeback.
So now Moodz is losing to JP 4-5.
Boom.
I'm beating JP 4-5, and Moodz is beating me 5-4.
Thought you were going to win Box Office Brawl 2019, buddy.
I would if it was fucking Thursday through Sunday. I'd be beating your ass by 3 points right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But next week we have Godzilla, King of Monsters, and Ma, which we'll be doing on the Facebook page because Moodz isn't here.
I think that Ma is going to struggle because of the fact that Godzilla's out. Plus, I mean, Aladdin's still out there. John Wick's still out there. Like
Rocket Man
comes out. So I can't see Ma doing really good. Is it Blumhouse?
Yeah.
But who fucking knows? Because Blumhouse is always fucking a surprise. I do think that this film like has heat. Like I think that people are talking about it and are looking forward to it. But it's like opening weekend wise, it's just like too much competition. Like if you're only gonna see one, you're probably gonna see fucking Godzilla, right?
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
but that's why I think Child's Play is retarded for opening up against Toy Story.
I just think that like I don't think it's smart, but I think it's also completely different audiences that won't affect it too much.
Get the hell out of here! Adults love Toy Story, bro. When I saw Toy Story 3, it was all fucking adults.
I mean, yeah, I mean everybody who grew up with Toy Story is adults now, so.
You're not gonna go see Toy Story?
Yeah, but I'm gonna see both of them. But if I had to choose, I would choose Child's Play.
See, not me. I'd pick Toy Story.
What? Why?
Yeah.
It's your favorite franchise.
Because Toy Story's fucking awesome.
Listen, you love Child's Play too.
Yeah.
I'll see it second.
Child's
I'm not
Play's
gonna
your favorite film.
I'm going to see them both the same night. I'm just going to see Toy Story first.
Yeah, I'm going to see Godzilla and Ma this week, probably. Not going to see Rocket Man this week because I'm also seeing... What is it that comes out on Wednesday for the classic night? I forget. It might be a Hitchcock movie or something.
That'd be cool. It's a Rear Window.
They're doing Rear Window and I think The Birds and North by Northwest at some point over the next 2 months.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
They're also doing I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I'm actually super fucking excited for that because that's like such a.
I'd be down to see that.
Yeah, that's like a once in a you're not going to see that very often anywhere. So
yeah,
it's like not popular enough to be like cult status, like popular to.
Yeah, but we said that was like it's not as rare as like Amityville 1992.
Yeah, that's fucking super rare.
That's crazy. I remember when that fucking movie came in theaters.
Yeah,
that's probably like the rarest credit you're ever gonna see. Amityville 1992.
Yeah, I would say probably. Yeah, because like even like stuff like Blood Beach and Slithis, like I think is more
common
than fucking a TV movie.
Yeah,
Slithis, great date movie.
Slithis sucked.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But
Blood Beach any good?
I did like Blood Beach. It fucking has John Saxon and
Burt Young.
Burt Young in it. I was just like weird. Yeah. But I think that obviously Godzilla's probably going to kill it, and Ma will probably do respectable because it's fucking Blumhouse. But regardless, it's going to make its fucking money back over the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
because it probably has a super low budget. But I think they both look good.
Well, Tivia Spencer's in it, so I think maybe her name will help a bit. It's like she's never made a horror movie before.
Is that the black lady?
Yeah.
She's a good actress.
Yeah. She's Oscar award winner, so.
You know, it's funny because you're watching the movie and you're like, okay, like these kids are kind of dumb, or the trailer, but
yeah.
I totally used to do that. Like, stand outside a beer
Yeah, but
place
you wouldn't go to the person's house who buys you the booze.
Dude, I literally have a story about doing that.
Yeah.
Not to their house, but when I would probably say 15, 14, me and my boy Marty were skating, and we were just like strolling through the knighthood and just kicking it and stuff, and we seen this dude named Gary. And he was walking down the road with a shotgun, and we were like, "What up, Gary?" And he was like, just like kind of a drunk dude, and I didn't know him, but like knew.
So how'd you know his name was?
I knew
Gary?
of him. I didn't know him. I knew of him. And he was like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Oh, we're just skating." And he was telling us about skating and how he used to skate in like DC and stuff, and we just thought he was drunk and dumb and didn't really believe anything he was saying. And he was like, "Well, you guys got any money?" And we're like, yeah. And he's like, "You guys want to get some beer?" And we're like, we looked at each other and we're like, yeah. And so he goes in and grabs like a couple of 6-packs of beer, and then he's like, "Come on, I got a spot." And he like takes us down through the woods, and he literally has a like fucking hut dug out into the side of a hill that you can go down into, and it's like actually like a little bunker. And we sit down there and drink beer for like the rest of the night, and then we go home. And all this time he's carrying this shotgun around. And then we became good friends with him and drank with him like every fucking week. And then he killed himself with the shotgun. I'm not even joking.
Christ.
Yeah, he used to always like get upset and like, and rest in peace, because this guy was really awesome. I'm not.
Yeah.
I made kind of a joke about it, but it was sad when he killed himself, because he was in Desert Storm and he had some mental issues and stuff like that, maybe some PTSD, and he would always cry about this girl who had left him. Like, he would just start crying, and we get all scared because he would have this shotgun in his hand. He always walked around with a shotgun, badass like combat shotgun. And he would just walk around with it all the time. And he always wore like camo and like would always like hang out in the woods. Like, he built us awesome fort that we used to drink in and stuff, and it had like, we used PVC pipe and put it like underground, and then put like little fire pits outside that we'd dump coals into, and it would like bring the heat through there in the winter. It was dope, man. But he was a good dude. He just needed he didn't have any friends, and he was just like kind of fucked up, and he loved us. Like and everything that he talked about skating was true. Like that he like actually was a like really good skater back in the 90s, and like skated with all these pros and stuff. But it was a sad story, but you know, it reminded me of Ma.
All right, well, thank you for telling us about Gary. Sounds cooler than Jerry. Oh, see, I rhymed.
Sounds cooler than Jeremy too.
Yeah, well, most people are cooler than me, so good one.
So that is Box Office Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a special segment here that I didn't tell you about. Okay.
Thanks.
New
Thanks for
segment. I'm debuting it here tonight. Really quick one. It is called...
Because you know your other segment where you read
It's
people's
called-
reviews really lasted.
It's coming back. I'm not joking.
Yeah, right.
No, it is. I already have some stuff lined up. This is the Coroner's Report, Weird Stats and Morbid Facts, courtesy of Rue Morgue magazine here. So I have one here that
Dude, this
was
can get
pretty
so
crazy. So in
You should have came up with a more creative name like Horror 101 plus 2.
that's not creative at all.
Yes, it is.
So in the game Super Mario Land 2 for the Nintendo Game Boy, there's an
That's a great
enemy
game.
who wears a goalie mask and a knife
Yeah.
stuck in his head in it.
Yep. In the Halloween world.
The English instruction book dubs him the masked ghoul, but in Japanese it's J-Sun, which is pretty cool. So that is your Rue Morgue's Morbid Facts and Weird Stats Corners Report here on the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror. So that is the news segment, and I'm sticking to it.
Nowhere near as good as Moods' Morbid Facts and Rad Stats.
Yeah. But I just thought that was funny because I actually picked up... Carly bought me a Rue Morgue, and I just thought it was funny, so...
It's good shit. That was fucking funny. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah. But you know what, man? I'm not joking right now. I love doing the They Said What segment. And I've been wanting to bring it back, but our shows have just been so packed that we didn't really have time to do it. So if you want to, I could do an impromptu one.
No, that's okay.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm bringing it back, just so you know.
Yeah? You're gonna like the motherfucking time?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's get into what we watched. I'm not gonna call it the other stupid name that Moods likes to
Dub,
call it.
Dub.
For once, I am in control. So who wants to go first? Let's make a pause. JP.
All right, I will go first. And the first title that I'm going to be reviewing tonight is... What the fuck is it called?
Fight for Your Life.
Fight for Your Life from the year 1977, which I believe you actually reviewed on the show before.
Courtesy of Andy.
Courtesy of Andy. Who gave me this?
This should be your job, but his name is Mr. Parka, Dave.
Oh, Dave gave me this?
I just said that.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So, yeah, Fight for Your Life. Man,
This movie's awesome.
what an interesting fucking movie, right?
Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
this is like a grindhousey film. This has a release by Blue Underground, right?
Yep. DVD.
Just DVD, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this needs a blue. So, basically, it follows a
Or
family,
4K.
a black family who is, living in their house and doing their family stuff. Almost feels like a sitcom or something. And then
Like the Jeffersons.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, this redneck who escapes from jail with his sidekicks, who is actually a Asian dude and a Mexican, essentially, take over this
And all the
house.
stereotypes.
Yeah, they home invade this house and take this family hostage, and basically are fucking super racist the entire movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
There is so much race racist shit in this movie, and you would think that it's just like, oh, like this redneck hates black people. And
no, he's like,
just
go make me some mac and cheese, woman.
Yeah, well, he's just gonna be racist to these black people. No, he's actually racist to his partners as well.
Yeah.
Like the Asian dude and the Mexican dude, like calls them all the types of, racist names, derogatory terms for their race, and it's just absolutely, honestly, like it's awful. Like like this stuff is really, it's almost, honestly, like it's almost too much, because at a certain point you're just like, okay, now it just feels like it's trying to be shocking. I honestly, Jay Murph would probably have a heart attack watching this movie. Like he would actually die. But so it's, I mean, I can't, like, I'm not going to repeat the things that are said in this film, but I mean, it's like everything.
Aren't you proud of me? I didn't say
it. I don't remember your review, but
I'm saying, aren't you proud of me? I didn't say it now.
Oh, you probably did in your review, right?
I don't remember.
What are some of the things that they say, Jeremy?
No, not gonna say it.
But like
Spick, Chink. There you go. I said 2 of them.
Okay, yeah. And the people, the sidekicks do get annoyed when he does that. Like they get like, hey, you motherfucker, don't talk to me like that. But yeah, so he actually even rapes like the daughter, and just a pretty big asshole. But the family does.
Pretty big asshole. Don't you think it's a little bit more than a pretty big asshole?
I don't even know how to describe this guy. I mean, he's literally just like the scummiest dude ever. And you know what's funny about him? He just looks the part too. Whoever they got to cast this dude.
Yeah, William Sanderson. Yeah, he's great. He was the sheriff on the first season of True Blood.
Yeah, he just looks like the type. And the family does, get the upper hand at some points, and it's standard home invasion stuff. Yeah. But there is sort of like a reveal at the end that kind of might shed some light on some of the things. So there was that, and actually the final kill in the film is pretty awesome too. But yeah, pretty solid. I think this film is very. It's one of those films that you want to see eventually because of like it's very unique. It's like it's probably known for being probably the most racist movie ever. But,
well, it's not Birth of a Nation, but
okay. I mean, like one of the most racist type of movies you could see.
Sure.
And like it's one thing that I will say is it's not painting the character positively in any way, shape, or form, which is good. It is, very pro-family. Like, you're on the family side. It's filmed that way. It's written that way. Like, you're just like, fuck this guy, piece of shit. He needs to get his... it's like almost like... It's essentially... I guess it technically is a rape revenge film in a way, too. But, it's a revenge film. It's about... You almost wish that there was more revenge to the home invasion angle. It's more of a home invasion film, but has a touch of revenge there, obviously. Like, I don't think anybody watching this is like, I hope this guy gets away with this,
Yeah.
Like, everybody pretty much knows, like, okay, this guy has to get his comeuppance in the end. But, yeah, pretty good movie, honestly. A little hard to watch, but I think there's, a decently made movie, too. One thing that was weird, all set in the daylight. Kind of strange. You would think that they might set this at nighttime. Isn't that weird a little bit? That it's all in the whole film is in the day?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Sometimes it's like stuff like that kind of creeps me out because it's happening in broad daylight too.
Yeah.
So it works for me. Like I was watching. This is off topic a little bit, but I was watching the first season of Slasher, the new season of Slasher, the TV show. And it's a kill right in the middle of the street in broad daylight, and it's fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not as bad as fucking Saw 3D, though, when you have 2 people, like, fucking tied up to the top of the ceiling and chainsaws.
Well, yeah, that's over-exaggerated. That's a very over-exaggerated kill, yeah.
So, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Pretty good. All right. I guess I'll go next. We have from Geno Cyber, we have Apt Pupil from the year 1998, directed by Bryan Singer, his second film after The Usual Suspects. I still think it was a pervert at this point, but this is a Stephen King adaptation and a very unbelievable movie, but I guess if you kind of put your disbelief apart the side, it's still a pretty mediocre movie either way. But we follow our main character, Todd, as George Carlin likes to say, Todd. He hates names like Todd. But we follow Todd, and he is a high school student who is like, he's super bright. He's like the top of his class. And one day, in class, he's learning about the Holocaust, and one second.
Oh, shit. So, Apt Pupil. That's a Stephen King story, right? Derek?
Yeah, it is.
It's fucking annoying.
Pretty good. From what I remember, it's been a while since I've seen it.
I'm leaving that in.
I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what the fuck? But, yeah, I remember seeing this back in the day, this movie.
Can I keep going now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Todd is learning about the Holocaust in class, and he becomes obsessed with the Holocaust, and he somehow magically finds out that a man who lives next door from him, played by Ian McKellen, is a ex-Nazi who escaped Germany and is now living undercover in the U.S. And, you know, the CSI hasn't been able to find out that this guy's living in the United States, but this high school student is able to figure it out in about 2 days. So don't get me started about that plot hole whatsoever. Ooh, I just said whatsoever twice. But don't let me get started with that plot hole. But he basically blackmails this guy to tell him the stories from the Holocaust, but in real detail. And if he tells him the stories how they really happened, he won't turn them into the cops. So he agrees to tell him, and as this guy starts to tell him more and more stories about what happened in the Holocaust, he becomes more and more deeply disturbed, and you know, his schoolwork starts to go downhill and things like that. This movie's over. Oh man, it's a mediocre fucking movie. It's clearly like late 90s kind of flick. I mean, Ian McKellen does like a good job as like this ex-Nazi kind of a guy, and there's like this one scene where he like puts on old Nazi uniform and he's like marching around. Like, he does like an okay job, but this movie's just fucking mediocre, and I wasn't like that big of a fan about it. It just, like I said, it feels like the late 90s, but it doesn't feel like Idle Hands or, you know, The Faculty late 90s. It's just a really mediocre movie in my opinion. I wasn't the biggest fan about it. I mean, it's like totally watchable and everything, but it just had too many plot holes and things that you have to disbelief to like actually make the movie make sense. But I gave it a 5.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Oh.
I think that's one of those. I've never seen it, but I feel like that's a pretty respected movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while myself. I do remember having an issue, like, from last time I watched it. This is a while ago, so what happened was, like, we were just watching it, me and my cousin, one day, and, like, Brad Renfro was like, put on this suit. I'm like, why doesn't he just fucking kill this kid? You know, like, that was my main issue. Like, he's, like, getting all involved in, like, this. Yeah. He's more involved than Ian McKellen's just trying to forget all about that shit type of deal. He's kind of forcing him back into it. I'm like, it's kind of fucked up.
See, I was just more pissed off about how this kid finds out he's an ex-Nazi in 2 days, but the CSI, oh my god, the CIA haven't been able to figure it out in like 30 years. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. CSI is kind of stupid sometimes too, though.
I just thought it was mediocre. And all.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a while.
In all honesty.
Your homie Roger Ebert liked it.
Well, What did he give it? 2 out of 4?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, he gave it 2 out of 4.
Did he really?
Yeah. Derek, you're up.
For movies. Oh shit.
Oh, look at this guy, unprepared, washing machine going off. Come on.
I only watched the ones that we had to watch for the reviews, man.
Oh, you didn't watch? You haven't watched anything else lately?
Well, not horror related. Like I could talk about The Great Mouse Detective if you want.
All right. Well, that's fine.
guess-
That's no worries. I'll go next.
I guess I'm doing 6 reviews in a row.
I'll go next. All right. Next up for me is a film titled Black Metal Veins, which is coming to me courtesy of Ethan Mitchell. This is a documentary film. I wouldn't necessarily call it horror, although everything in this film is definitely very horrific. Directed by Lucifer Valentine, who I think is a Canadian filmmaker, most known for the Slaughter Vomit Dolls films, the Slaughter Gore trilogy, or whatever it's called, Slaughter Vomit Dolls, Slow Torture Puke Chamber, and Regurgitated Sacrifice. I think Moodz reviewed one fairly recently. But this film is a documentary following a handful of drug addicts who are most notably addicted to crack, cocaine, as well as heroin. And it kind of just documents their love for the drugs. And, you learn a little bit about their backstory, the history of them. The film centers around these 5 or 6 people and their constant drug use. We've pretty much see a completely uncensored look at this drug life, which I am all too familiar with. I have many of addicts in my family, and I've very much been very unfortunate to have to deal with, heroin and crack and a lot of that stuff, and it's very realistic looking. I will say that. Now, the film itself, there's one thing that kind of bugged me about it a little bit, and that's like the fact that at one point in the film, they decided to take a step out of reality and add a effect to a scene, which almost makes it seem, fictitious, and it leaves you scratching your head like, okay, what the hell was that? Like, one of the drug addicts, it's almost like an artistic choice to show one of the drug addicts like covered in blood on a bed, and I'm thinking like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Like, why show that? Is that supposed to be, her future? Is that it's just in a film that seemed to be taking the subject matter completely as realistic and, as true to form as possible, to throw that in there, it really bothered me. And I even had to look it up to see like what the hell was that about. And apparently it's supposed to show that the character had died from an overdose, but in reality that didn't happen. I don't know what the director's choice was, but I looked it up, and apparently on the commentary the director said that was actually not, that person did not die. And that's all I got from my brief research online. But what we see in this film, we see people shooting up heroin many times, snorting heroin, shooting up Oxycontin, shooting up alcohol at one point. We see plenty of drug use, a lot of crack smoking from all the characters people in the film. The 2 females are often naked in the film and very graphic. Talks of prostitution and I mean it's about what you would expect from a film like this, but it is very depressing. It's hard to watch this stuff, especially if you've been unfortunate enough to have to deal with this in real life. It's sad. It's all too familiar, and it's heartbreaking in a way. You see these young people, especially the one character, Raven. I keep saying character, but the one person, Raven. When you first are introduced to her, she's very pretty. She looks very pretty, and has a outgoing, eccentric personality. And you see her a little later, and she's covered in pick marks from sores and scratching her face, and she has an abscess under her armpit, and she just looks disgusting. She looks like a drug addict, and they all do. And it just gets worse as the film goes on, and I assume that most of these people, I guess one of the things that bothered me a lot is not really knowing what happened to these people. I assume like they say in the film that certain people have died, but I don't know if it's the film or if it's like they say the character Raven, the woman Raven in the film died, but that's, when I looked it up, it turned out to be not true. But I wonder what happened to these people. I truly wonder what happened to them. Hopefully some of them, if not all of them, were able to get clean, although it's unlikely when you deal with this type of stuff. It often people do not get clean, but hopefully they did. It's unfortunate. They also talk a little bit to the mother of one of the characters and her role and everything. You kind of feel bad for her. Your heart goes out to her and stuff. But yeah, very depressing, dark, shocking, eye-opening look at the heroin epidemic and a couple of people who are using and shooting up like crazy. They do a lot of drugs in this film, but yeah, so that is Black Metal Veins. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. It's almost to where the filmmaker really, I don't know. I don't know how, like, because there's all these interesting edits in the film too, like these fast edits, which I did like. But I almost feel like that one scene of bullshit, like it almost makes me not even want to rate it that high, because what the hell were you thinking? And also, it's a documentary. I don't think it's like anybody could have made this documentary, essentially. You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing about it. It's not necessarily a good movie, like a good made film. I literally could have made this, you know what I mean? It's just, I think the experience is what I'm rating more so than the actual film. Good experience, not really, like this isn't a good, you don't have a good time watching this. It's just, you feel something, and I guess that's what I kind of am rating. So I don't know. Black Metal Veins, thanks for the pick. I actually very much was interested in this film all the way through.
Thank you. Oh wow, what an amazing time this is. Let's talk about, because I'm the only one who comes prepared, Wolfen from 1981. This is like a weird werewolf movie, and it basically follows this detective. He is... Shit, I closed out a Letterboxd. God, we're so unprofessional when Moodz isn't here.
This guy's over here talking shit. I'm the only one that's prepared. Oh, man.
I am the only one that's
prepared. I closed out a
prepared.
Letterboxd. Oh, my God. I don't know what you're talking about. How am I not prepared?
Yeah, but anyway, we follow this police detective. He's like a drunken cop, but he's like a really good detective. And one night, this... executive and his wife gets dismembered by something in the Central Park, and so they get dismembered, and oh my god. So they get attacked by something.
What do they get?
dismembered.
All right.
So they get
Dismembered.
dismembered by something at Central Park, and as the movie goes on, more and more people are starting to get
Dismembered.
horribly brutalized by this mysterious force, and they're getting cut in half and opened up and things like that. And they ultimately find a wolf hair in one of these victims. And it's basically just this detective and this other sidekick woman trying to find out how all these murders are happening. As the film goes on, there's like Native American kind of vibes going on. And that's basically about it. It's like a werewolf movie that the werewolves don't show up until the last like 10 minutes of the movie. And then they finally show up and they're just wolves. And that's basically about it. The main cop, very much like the Gorgor Girls, which is like not like an amazing movie, but it has like an entertaining detective in it. Like that's like basically this movie too. Like the movie's like pretty okay. It's not like horrible, but it's because of the main character is likable. It makes the movie more stomachable. And like I said, there's like nothing really going on. It's basically just like a cop drama until like the last 10 minutes of the movie where the werewolves finally show up and it turns into like your normal horror movie. But it's okay. I know like a lot of people like really like this movie and like they think highly of it in the werewolf genre, but it's like when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, it's like not really a werewolf movie until like I said, the last 10 minutes. But like the whole like Native American side story is pretty cool. And the way that they develop that part of the story is pretty interesting. So I give it credit in that sense. But like I said, if it wasn't for the main cop dude, I think this film wouldn't have been as strong as it is. But it's still like totally watchable, and you should probably give it a watch once. I don't like place it high on the list of werewolf movies, but it's still like interesting enough to give it a watch. And it's like a bigger budget. This is when Orion was releasing movies with Warner Brothers, which is kind of interesting. So this movie is a Warner Brothers production, and it has that kind of bigger budget kind of feel to it. And the camera work and everything like that is pretty good. So I gave it a 7 out of 10.
All right.
Nice.
I've actually never seen Wolfen.
I'm actually a huge fan of Wolfen.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it, man.
Man, it's not a werewolf movie until the last 10 minutes.
Well, it's not a werewolf movie technically. If the folklore is it's shapeshifters.
Okay, sure. But it's a fucking werewolf on the cover, bro.
Well, yeah. Not really, though. It's just a picture of a wolf.
You know what? Fuck you, Derek.
But I agree. I love Albert Finney in that role as the cop, though.
Yeah, he's great.
All right. And next up is a film coming to me courtesy of Mikey Fisher, the homie Mikey Fish. Always bringing the interesting indie films, and this one is no exception. What we have here is Camp Slaughter from the year 2005. This film is quite out of print now, a little hard to find, but I was able to eventually see it. And it follows a group of kids who break down while driving on a remote road. After a weird night in the woods, they stumble upon a summer camp, which is in full swing and is packed with teenagers. But the only thing that's weird, this film is set in present day, but everybody at this camp seems to be straight out of the 80s. Their clothes, music, hair, everything, attitudes, all 80s. And the, people are kind of wondering what the heck's going on. Then a killer shows up and starts killing all the kids. And then the next day, they realize that it's kind of like a Groundhog Day thing, because all the people are back, and they start getting killed again. So they're kind of stuck in this time loop curse thing, and they have to figure out how to get out. Honestly, like this movie was decent, but I didn't love it. It sounds good on paper. Even the first scene where it follows this guy and this girl who are sneaking off by themselves and getting ready to undress and fondle each other and probably have premarital sex and things like that. It's set up early, like, okay, this is going to be a cool, like, throwback slasher. And I thought it was a nice spin because the chick was pressuring the dude into the sex. So I just thought that was really funny. Obviously poking at the stereotypes and kind of turning them on their head. And then after that first, kill reminds you very much of Friday the 13th. Then this music comes in and reminds you of like a cross between Friday the 13th and Psycho. And you're like, oh, this is going to be super cool. But honestly, this film could have benefited a lot from some better kills, man. I mean, there's kills in this film, but none of them really stand out, which is a little unfortunate. I just feel like if this film maybe had a little bit more money or a little bit more time, it is really stuck in the micro budget indie area where I feel like this concept could have actually benefited from being a little bit more money behind it. And I think they really could have hammered home the concept that they were going for. So I didn't find it super awesome, but it is definitely an interesting watch. And I wish that I could have liked it more, but I'm giving this one a 5 out of 10. It's kind of average. So, Camp Slaughter, 5 out of 10. Okay, Jeremy, back to you.
Next up, we have a film from the year 1995, directed by Tobe Hooper, and that is The Mangler, a film that somehow got turned into a trilogy, and we have 3 films, and this is one of the only movies I can think of where we have a possessed laundry machine. Yeah, that definitely is a thing. And this is yet again another Stephen King adaptation. I mean, I got a bunch of these this month for the Patreon. So basically, we follow like this sweatshop, laundry factory, very similar to like a factory in modern times. Directed by Charlie Chaplin, very similar to that kind of atmosphere if you've seen that movie. And basically, there's this huge laundry machine in the middle of this factory, and this factory is ran by Robert Englund, and he plays like this like super over the top, horribly acted, I think on purpose character, and he's like, the Mr. Scrooge of the factory, like, hey, don't stop working, work all the time, work. And ultimately, this one woman, she gets sucked up into this laundry machine, and she gets killed. And the effects are actually pretty good. That's like the highlight of this movie. Is like the effects are actually like not too bad. But as the movie goes on, it's once again like a police story where we have like this police officer. Now he's trying to find out what's going on with this laundry machine, why it keeps on causing accidents where people are getting killed in it. And as the film goes on, we learn that there's actually a demon that possessed this laundry machine, and it's basically just murdering people in weird freak accidents, but it's actually not accidents. It's just like this machine doing the crimes, and the only way to stop it from keep murdering people is to do an exorcism. So that's what happens. So they basically go into this factory, and they're doing this, typical exorcism stuff where there's the holy water and all the prayers and all that kind of stuff, and the machine's going crazy and it's shooting sparks out and all this other shit, and it basically the exorcism, of course, goes wrong, and all these other side plots happen, and ultimately, of course, the machine dies, and that's that. I mean, it's a retarded fucking movie. The acting is absolutely horrible on every single front. The movie is not directed well. I mean, it feels super, 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 super low budget, but this movie was released by New Line, so it was released in theaters and everything, but it just feels like it was like given no money whatsoever. It's just not a good fucking movie. And like, how much could you do with a fucking haunted laundry machine? Like, after a while, it just gets super old and stale, and it's like, why am I watching this movie about this fucking laundry machine that's possessed, that's killing people? It's just not a good movie. Like, I did not enjoy it whatsoever. I have no idea how the fucking made 2 sequels. From what I see, the sequels are actually way better than the original movie, but they're still like horrible films, and it's just not a good franchise. Like, I have no idea how this turned into a franchise. but
Wait,
it's somehow
you said the Mangler 3 is better than the first one?
I mean, that's what I heard. Have you seen it?
It's fucking atrocious.
Oh, yeah? Well, Real Film said the film comes off as a masterpiece when compared to its predecessors. But I haven't seen them, and I hopefully won't have to see them. But after my review of this, I have a feeling that I'll probably have to be reviewing the Mangler 2 and the Mangler 3 coming up real soon. But,
you know what's crazy is I've read the story to the Mangler.
Yeah.
I think it was in the Night Shift collection.
Yeah.
It's a short story.
Mm-hmm.
And reading it, I'm like, okay, this is like kind of a cool, basic little story, but never did I read it and was like, oh man, this would be a great adaptation.
Directed by
film.
Toby Hooper and released by New Line. Like I said, the effects are definitely like the high point of this movie, and they're not even like good, but they're practical and they're passable, and it is what it is. Like watching people get sucked up and crushed by a laundry machine is fine, but like after a while, it just gets old and stupid. I'm just not a fan of this movie.
And fucking Robert Englund in the fucking movie.
Yeah, and like I said, Robert Englund's like absolutely acted horrible, but I think it's like on purpose. He has like a weird voice like this, like a weird like
So he sounds
evil
like you.
villain. Yeah, he has like an evil like a weird villain kind of voice, and he's like has like prosthetic legs, and they look like
and
horrible, and
looking shit.
it's just a bad movie. I'm not a fan of this one. I gave it a 4 out of 10.
All right, I've never seen it, but I own, I think, all three of them. So moving on here. All right, next up is coming to me courtesy of Jellybane, who gave me a film last month that I didn't get around to, couldn't find it, so he decided to replace it with this film. I do appreciate it, homie. And that film is The Minion, starring Dolph Lundgren. This film's from the year 1998. And it is a Canadian-American action supernatural horror film, if you will. So a couple of guys are working in this area underground, and the floor collapses, and they go into this little crypt, and it essentially has these skeletons everywhere. So they contact this woman, this like archaeologist type woman. She comes in, and she is trying to figure out what's going on, and it is sort of this religious type thing. I'm not 1,000% sure what the like Knights of the Templar or something. I'm not sure, but essentially what happens is a religious sort of antichrist apocalypse is upon us once this chamber has been opened. We have this man who comes in, played by Dolph Lundgren, who is trying to take this key to an area, and we have these other people, these minions, these demons, who are trying to stop him and her. And that's basically your story. Honestly, like, I thought this one actually started off pretty fun. You know, it kind of feels like it's, you know, right in the 90s. And it reminded me a little bit of The Terminator, the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator film, the first one I'm talking about, where you have this guy who is trying to stop this thing, and then this thing that's trying to happen, and he's teamed up with this girl. It feels very much like The Terminator. I think that this film really kind of loses its head as it moves on into the story, and it gets almost really ridiculous and feels to kind of drag a little bit later on, and that was kind of a little bit disappointing. I would have also liked to see a little bit more horror aspects to this film. It is very much more on the action side of things. Like, there's a few shootouts and stuff like that. Early on, there's, you know, this like gloved spiked weapon that Dolph Lundgren is using to sort of kill these minions, and, you know, he's like stabs them in the head. And also the police are after these two, because to the regular, you know, population, it looks like they are killing people, but really they're, you know, dealing with what you would call like demons or minions in this film, and that's what's that's the problem. It gets a little convoluted in the end. Overall, I didn't think it was too bad, but I didn't think it was too good either. I gave it a 5.5 out of 10. So that is The Minion, with Dolph Lundgren.
All right. Next up for me, Wolfen, the Mangler, Apt Pupil. All right. Last up, we have Shuttle from the year 2008. This one was released by Magnet. And this is another film where we have dumb motherfuckers and making decisions that would never really happen in real life if you were put into the situation. But for some reason, these people think it's a good idea to do what they do. But basically follow these two girls. They're coming home from a vacation. And at the airport, they get this shuttle ride from this guy. And these two bros who they met on the flight decide to take the ride with them. So it's these two girls and these two bros and this other random dude who is clearly have nothing to do with what's going to happen in the later on down the film. But he's like a weird looking dude, and he's very like quiet and nervous and things like that. He's not a strong, muscular dude. He's very much like me, and so these two girls and these two bros and this weird-looking dude is driving along, and this guy clearly is something up, and they basically get kidnapped, and he's basically crazy, and he takes them along, and they basically try to escape. So what happens is now they're on this shuttle ride from hell, boom, 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 and it's basically just them trying to make it out of this situation. And as the film goes on, there's plots and twist holes and all this kind of stuff that you would expect in a movie like this, but it runs at an hour and 47 minutes long. And I feel like this kind of narrative of these two girls getting kidnapped by a dude, it does not fit a movie that's on 107 minutes long. I just felt like by the end of it, where it goes, it's actually quite interesting. It turns into like these guys are like kidnapping girls and putting them in crates and sending them off overseas to become sex workers. Like, it's like an actually interesting idea, but it just like throws it in at the end and really doesn't go anywhere, and it doesn't really like develop into this idea. But like I said, like it's 80% of the movie is just like these people driving around in this minivan trying to get out of the situation that they're in. It just gets old really fast, and the movie's like very bleak. There's like it's uninteresting to look at. It's like it's like a monotone kind of color. Like they rarely ever show any colors. It's like this greenish, yellowish color the entire film, and they clearly shot it like that on purpose. But I just think that it's just an uninteresting movie to look at. So when you have an uninteresting story and an uninteresting movie, aesthetically, I feel like by the end of it, you're just like, okay, you're looking at your watch and you're checking it over and over again to hope that it soon will be over. It's fine. It's not like a horrible movie or anything like that, but I just feel like once again it has like a lot of plot holes and things like that. Like this guy who's driving the bus like drops him off at this grocery store to go inside to get things that he needs, and like the bitch doesn't like scream or anything like that, or tries to attract the clerk or something to let her know that something shitty is going on outside or anything like that. And then when we find out that she actually did try to do something like that, it doesn't really go anywhere, and they really don't say anything about it ever again. It's just shit like that. But like I said, it's like a total watchable film. It feels like a 2008 kind of movie. So I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. And finally for me, we have the film Bluebeard, which is also coming to me courtesy of Jellybane. This is a film that he told me was on Netflix. However, when I went on Netflix, it was not. But I did actually own this film on Blu-ray. I still had it sealed, and I have actually never watched it. So, Bluebeard is a Asian film that is sort of a serial killer-esque film. It follows a doctor who is separated from his wife, and he's having a little bit of issues with his wife and his son. He wants to sort of take care of his son, but his wife doesn't really want him to. It's a South Korean film, by the way, and he lives in this small little apartment, and his landlord is a they own a butcher shop that's, you know, downstairs. And essentially, this man is a doctor, and he lives in this area where there are unsolved murders. There have been murders of people showing up decapitated with just their limbs are gone, with the torsos in the water. They're finding them in these rivers, and one day when he's working on a patient who happens to be his neighbor, the grandfather of his landlord, he has him, you know, under sedation at this, given like a colonoscopy. And this man starts mumbling about, you know, you got to cut the arms off and you throw them in the river. So, you know, at this time, so their body won't show up until April, and this, that, and the other, which really spooks him. So he begins to suspect that his neighbor / landlord is the killer that is killing everybody in the town. And eventually, it seems like those neighbors, become aware that he knows. So it's kind of a, you know, psychological thriller in a way. Honestly, like, this film was pretty good at first. Like, I was, you know, into it. I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting. I like these sort of South Korean thriller, serial killer type things. I've seen a couple of them, and I usually like them. But I feel like this film really, like, loses itself in the narrative. It really does. Certain things just didn't make sense to me. And I think that there might be a cultural difference, but I didn't really buy that this doctor was struggling with, like, where he didn't have any money and couldn't take care of his son and had to live in this small, crappy apartment. And there was a few other things that I don't know if it was like a cultural thing or like there was one moment where the police were talking to him, and they were saying, like, did you see this woman, blah blah blah, and he's like, yeah, and well, the woman's missing, and then the police are like, so you were the last person to see her alive. And it just sounded kind of weird. I don't know if it's like a translation thing. Like, I don't feel like the police would suggest that the woman was not alive, you know what I mean? If they didn't know. It was just stuff like, and I thought that they were trying to trick the guy into saying, like, yeah, I guess so, or whatever, and then the police be like, see, we didn't say she was dead and blah, blah, blah. But no, that's not the case. So what else? I think that the biggest issue that I have with the film is it gets incredibly, and I mean incredibly, convoluted in its ending. And it just seems to drag on and on and on forever. The film is shot very well. I love the setting and the shots, and the film even opens up with some fantastic shots. I like the butcher shop location and all that. There's too many false, like, jump scare, like, dream sequences that's really annoying to me. And then you think the film's going to go one way, and then it switches another way, and then it switches back at the end, and I'm just like, this honestly just doesn't make sense. There's no way that all this could play out like this. Just no way in hell. And that was my biggest issue. It's just it's a very convoluted film. It just doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. But other than that, it was all right. I thought it was pretty good. You know, the ending really killed it for me, though. So I gave it a 6 out of 10. So not worth the 2 hours, in my opinion. Like, 2 hours was really long for this film. It just felt like it was so long. So yeah, could have been trimmed down, but yeah, that's Bluebeard. Let's talk about Brightburn really quickly.
Okay.
All right, so we both saw Brightburn. We'll leave it spoiler free for Derek here.
Thank you.
Because I think, listen, this is like, I guess it did what the studio expected, but like, yeah. I just wanted this movie to be like way more successful than it ended up being, just because you don't get stuff like this. Like, studios
why do you
are
say that? Like, I understand what you're getting at, but like, this movie could have totally been a generic PG-13 movie if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really get like good and bloody until like there's like let's be honest, there's one good kill in the movie, and the rest one. There's one good kill in the movie.
3 good kills in the movie.
No, there's one good kill.
Absolutely, there's 3 good kills in the movie.
No, one. And I have to give it that. Like, the one good kill in the movie is like actually pretty good, and the effects are like really pretty well done. And
So the
stuff
the car kill wasn't good.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, so the Fulci kill wasn't good.
Nah.
Why?
Well, one,
it was great.
For one, it's like it's not even a kill. It's just like, oh, that's nasty. And
Yeah,
two,
okay,
it's
so-
like they
but
cut
it's like-
away. They cut away and they don't even fucking show anything.
Yeah, well, you just got an amazing mainstream
that's
eye
amazing?
sequence, dude.
It's not even an eye sequence.
What do you mean?
All she does is pull out a piece of glass from her eye. What do you fucking do?
Whoop-de-fucking-do, dude? Are you serious?
Yeah, I am
You never
serious.
see stuff like that.
You used to see it in Saw movies all the time. People pulling shit out of different body parts.
In a superhero fucking movie?
It's not a
supervillain
superhero
movie, rather. Come on, dude. A fucking R-rated supervillain? Like, it's fucking dope.
I didn't say the idea wasn't good.
Like,
That's not
yeah,
what I said.
but even for a movie like this, the plot of this movie, you would never expect there to be gore.
Yeah, what kind of movie do you think they were promoting? They've been
I
promoting
thought they were
it as a
promoting.
horror
I didn't even
movie.
fucking know it was remotely horror. I was like, I just thought it was some supervillain movie or something, or like
Have you
I
seen the
actually thought it
trailers or
was.
anything?
I
Like, they've been
actually thought
saying
it
it's a
was a
horror movie.
superhero movie.
Been saying they've been promoting it as a horror movie.
I didn't know. It didn't look horror to me. It looked like dark, maybe, but like a lot of comic stuff, like supervillain stuff, is a little dark. But it's like an actual. It's like a fucking slasher film almost, dude. And then the final kill, I
I'm
thought
not
was
saying
really
I
good,
didn't
too.
like it. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit, actually. I just think that you said it's like, oh, everybody should support it. It's like a hard R. It's like, it's not a hard R.
It's a pretty hard R for the subject matter, dude. Like they stay on the gore sequences. You don't see that a lot. You just don't.
No, they stay on the gore sequence once.
No.
Yes.
The eye sequence is fucking gore, bro.
Yeah, but
It's
they cut away
100%.
from it. But like,
No, they don't. They literally
the
show the
car
whole
kill-
fucking scene. What are you
the car
talking
kill
about?
is like the only thing that they focus on for a long time. That's definitely the best part of the movie. Is that whole sequence?
I thought the eye sequence was better than that, but
Really?
yeah,
I
eye
didn't think
stuff
so.
freaks me out, man.
I know that, but you're just being. That's your personal preference.
I mean, Carly agreed.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that eye sequence was great, man. I was like, fucking Lucio Fulci directed this shit.
I just think it's just like, fine, 2 kills and everything else is off screen at that point. Like, the cop.
What
scene,
about the
that's all
cop,
off-
dude? The cop
but
got
that's all
fucked
off-
up, dude.
It's all off screen.
No,
or if they show it for like 2 frames.
That's
and then
fine,
that's it.
dude. It's the concept of it, and you see blood everywhere. 2 cops. The one kill with the first cop, that is a great kill.
Don't get me wrong. I like the idea. I think it's like
There was
it's pretty
4 or
cool.
5 good kills in this film.
I wouldn't say they're good. I would say like
they're
for a
definitely
mainstream
good.
movie,
They're definitely
fine.
good kills.
I disagree. I just think there's one good kill in the movie, to be honest with you. But that doesn't mean that
you
I
do
don't
this
think,
thing
like,
where like you pick out the best kill and you're like, this is the one good thing.
No, I just think that is the one best part of the movie is that one scene.
You know,
But I'm not saying, like, the
not to
rest of the
spoil
movie isn't
anything,
good.
but to see, like, imagine if Superman, you know that he's like faster than a speeding bullet and shit. Imagine if he just fucking decided to tackle somebody at full speed and fucking explode their body. Like,
Yeah, but they
how
don't
is that
show it.
not? It fucking did. What are you?
No, it doesn't.
Did you watch this movie?
Yeah, I did watch it.
It doesn't show it like fucking close up and stuff, but
Exactly.
the effect is there. The effect is there.
Okay.
So I don't know what you mean, like that. Like when I watched it happen,
I just think
was
if they're
like,
gonna make
oh,
it a horror
shit.
movie, then they should fucking just go hardcore.
They did. What are you
I don't
talking
believe they.
about?
I just don't believe it's that hardcore as you're making
You're
it out to be.
fucking dumb.
I'm not dumb.
You didn't watch the movie or something. It clearly is you name
Are you
one
kidding
other
me? The
super
Saw
villain
movies
film.
are so much more.
I
fucking
said super villain film that
Have you
has
seen
anything
Logan?
remotely like this.
Have you seen Logan?
No, actually.
Exactly. Watch Logan.
You think that has more graphic kills, or
Yes.
Really?
Derek, have you seen Logan?
Yeah, Logan's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Crazy
should watch
good
Logan.
Does he stick his claw in people's eyes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it's been a while since I watched it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong there. I haven't seen Logan, but maybe I'll check that out then.
But I get it. I like the movie. Don't get me wrong. I like the movie.
I think you're under. Look, I'm maybe overselling them a bit because you're not giving it any credit at all. But
I am giving it credit.
no,
I said
I'm
the
saying
one
the
car
kills.
scene's
You're
real
not giving
good.
the kills credit.
Yeah, because I don't think they're like that overly like amazing like you do.
They were good though. I don't think
Okay.
they're overly that amazing. I thought the eye sequence was amazing. That's the only kill I thought was amazing. And it's not even a kill. I just thought it was a good sequence in a horror movie that was gory. I'm not saying that anything in this movie is fucking amazing by itself, but I'm saying in cohesion together, I think it's pretty fucking rad. It's really good. Like, this is one of the best films I
They
saw
don't
this
give
year.
any backstory.
What do you mean?
Like, nothing.
There
They
is
don't give-
backstory.
No, there isn't. There's this one thing. This giant meteor crashes down from fucking space, and that's it.
Yeah.
Where's it
What
from?
more do you need?
Where's it from? Like,
Why
why?
does it
is
matter?
this
It's
thing-
from
why
fucking
does this make-
Krypton.
No, it's not Krypton.
Why does it matter?
It's not superhero. It's not a Superman movie.
No shit, but I'm saying why? What is the difference if it's from Krypton or another nameless fucking space
I just
place?
want to know why. Why does it make people do what they fucking do? Why is it making this? Why do they choose this person? And why does
choose
it?
what person?
Why is this kid have these magical fucking powers?
Because he's from fucking space.
But why? Why? What planet? Like
What
why?
planet? Fucking fake planet number 9.
Well, I just like some backstory.
It
Harley had
doesn't-
the same
but I'm
problem
saying,
with it.
there is no reason to. There's nothing. It doesn't change anything. If you say it's from Planet X, does it change anything about the film?
I've had the argument before. You know, that's just my personal preference. I like to have backstory. I just
I
like
like
some
to have backstory too, but I'm saying, does the backstory affect the film? That's that's a fair critique. Would the backstory affect the film? If they say random planet number 9, you'd be like, it's so cliche. It's like
No,
everything.
I just don't think they had big enough budget to do that.
What,
that's
say
the-
that he's from another fucking planet?
No, because if
How-
they're going to say
in
it,
what
then they
way-
would have to show it.
It's okay. So you wanted to see an alien
some-
world.
or some kind of backstory. Yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't see the point of that. Honestly, I think it would make it feel cheaper.
Well, why? Why would they make it feel cheaper?
Because then it would feel like, because the mystery of it makes it creepy, right? If you show it, it's never going to be as cool as you have in your head.
I don't have anything creepy. It's not a creepy movie, in my opinion.
I'm saying it's not as cool as it would be in your head. Like, if you picture some alien planet, it's probably going to be cooler than it would be if you filmed it. That's rule number. That's, everybody knows that. It's what you don't see that is scary or cool. Showing it is often a mistake.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree.
I think that your criticisms are super light. That it's like, okay, why don't we know anything about it? You do know about him. You know he's fucking has superpowers. You know that this fucking thing.
But why now all of a sudden does he have superpowers?
Well,
Why did Superman start getting
they
powers?
Why
allude,
wasn't he?
first of all, because they mention it in the film in a sort of metaphorical way that whenever you hit puberty, which they mention that he's probably going to be going through puberty, that she's going to have her hands full with him, much like American or human kids, you develop more things when you're going through puberty. So it makes sense that he would be unleashing his full powers during puberty, but it also is alluded to that he's never bled before or never had a bruise before, so he's always had some level of power.
Sure.
So, I mean, I think that this thing was really fucking cool, man. This is one of the cooler
I
movies
didn't
I've
say
seen in
it
a while.
wasn't cool. That's not
I'm
what
not
I
saying
said.
you said it. Did I say that you said it wasn't cool? Did I say that?
I just don't. Why do I have to be high on it like you
don't.
are?
You don't. I'm just saying that the criticisms that you're bringing your criticisms to the thing, and you're like, I don't see what you started off by saying I don't see what you think is so awesome about it. So I'm simply rebuttaling, and I'm telling you what's awesome, and I'm telling you that I don't think your criticisms hold much weight.
Okay, but my criticism ever hold much weight ever?
Yes. Whenever you say that it's dumb to fucking make an entire movie about a washing machine.
Yeah, but I don't have any. That's not like a criticism. Like, oh, this is why I think why this movie's bad. Like, I was never like that.
I don't know.
Like,
what your
name
question is.
name like one time like I've ever given like a good critique or an argument about a movie.
All the time, whenever we talk about movies.
See, I always just think I just never say anything interesting, like you and Moodz does. I don't know.
I think this movie, and look, that's a fair rating. I'm not saying that you should rate it higher. I'm just saying the complaints that you had, I think they didn't hold much weight.
I just think the kills aren't as good as you make them out to be.
I don't know how am I making them out to be?
Well, you just think like
they're good kills.
I don't think so.
You think they're bad kills?
No, I just think
you think they're average kills.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we would disagree at, because I don't think they're average at all. I think they're good, and they fit for what the film is too. I love the scenes where he's just floating in the air, like outside. Like, he's actually kind of scary. Like, if you actually put yourself in that situation, like once, like you're like, how the fuck do you kill it? Like, you know, it's the concept behind it.
Exactly,
is very
backstory.
dark.
How do you kill
I like
him?
that. Well, we know how.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they explain it in the film. And then I actually really like the ending, like the final sort of moment. I agree with Carly a little bit. She said it looked kind of. It seemed like it had
ass.
some CG there, but I didn't think it was that bad at all. But the concept behind it was really awesome.
Yeah, too bad it didn't have enough money to actually show her sliding on the ground.
I wouldn't want to see that. I think that it works better.
Why?
I think it just works better as what it is because of the meaning behind it. You know what I mean? I feel like it kind of would cheapen it a little bit. It would almost become comedic or like slapsticky if that would have happened.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I really liked this movie. I thought it was super super fucking cool. It's a huge surprise. I didn't think this movie was going to be really good at all. And I think that everybody should go out and see this thing because
I think people should see it too.
Because to me, it's like I just thought that it was cool. I didn't expect to see any level of gore, and I got gore and actually some like pretty.
Well, what did you
gore.
expect? It was rated R. What did you expect?
I don't know. There's plenty of R movies that have like nothing in them that I'm like,
that's not promoted like a horror movie.
It wasn't like The Quiet Place an R.
No.
It was PG?
PG-13, yeah.
Yeah, well, it felt like it. Like, is there like good kills in it or something? You know what I mean? Like,
but it has a fucking sink shooting blood everywhere.
Yeah, but to me that's not blood doesn't.
But that makes it R.
It did have that awesome beginning scene with Georgie.
Yeah, it's great. But no, like I don't know. Like there's always R movies that really don't have like, you know, anything special with kills and stuff like that. But I just thought like it's just a cool concept. I've always wanted to see a studio actually use what they could with a superhero, supervillain style film and make it dark and make it bloody. Like it just.
You just need to watch Logan, bro.
Okay, I will, but I'm just saying, like, this was a dark film, man.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
Will I like this movie?
I think everybody will. Honestly, I think it's a good movie.
Everybody has been liking it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anybody say anything bad about it.
Yeah, I told Moodz and Jeremy that I both thought they were gonna like it. Jeremy didn't like it as much as I did, but he still liked it.
It has a good jump scare that got me.
I didn't get jump scared at all.
Yeah.
Which one?
In the barn when.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't think I got jump scared at all.
I thought he was going to be behind her.
I thought the acting was really solid in it too. I really like
the aunt's kind of annoying and like her boyfriend's.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
That's fucking Badger from.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I could not figure out who it was until after the movie. I was like, fuck, how did I not know that?
You didn't see Michael Rooker, so you know.
Yeah, I did.
Who is he?
Who is Michael Rooker?
Yeah, in the movie. He's in the movie.
Yeah, he's in the newscast.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, I didn't know what I said was I didn't know that there was I thought they were saying there was more stuff in the credits. I know that scene, but one thing that I think nobody's really talking about with this too is the family dynamic. I thought that that all was played out really well, like how I actually could understand where the mother was coming from. I could understand where the father was coming from.
Well, it's like the Prodigy.
Yeah, but this was better than that, the way they handled it. Like, I thought the father... Like, dude, was that masturbation scene not fucking hilarious?
But that's the point of it.
What?
It was supposed to be like that.
What?
Yeah,
did
sure,
I say
it's
that it's
hilarious.
not supposed... Wait, did I say
But
that
it's
it's not supposed to be like that?
You're sucking this movie's cock.
I don't understand what you're saying. It's supposed to be like that. What the fuck does that mean?
You're saying it wasn't that hilarious? It was supposed to be hilarious, so why are you asking me?
Just because something
hilarious?
is supposed to be hilarious doesn't mean it is, you fucking dumbass. What are you saying right now? That didn't make no sense.
We're gonna keep going?
I'm just saying, like it's like you're trying to fight me on something that I don't get.
I'm not fighting. You said, wasn't that hilarious? Okay,
Yes.
It was supposed to be hilarious.
So why can't you say, yeah, it was funny?
Yeah, it was funny.
So why does it matter if it was supposed to be or not? That's not what I said. That's not what I asked. I didn't say, was that supposed to be funny?
Well, you said, wasn't that hilarious?
Yeah, yes!
Okay, it's a rhetorical question.
No, it's not. I was literally asking you, wasn't it funny? Or
It was
did you
supposed
not
to be
think it
funny,
was funny?
so of course it's supposed to be funny.
Dude, that makes no sense. Isn't every comedy supposed to be funny? Does that mean it actually is?
Okay.
Do you see where I'm coming from? What you said didn't make sense.
Okay.
I thought that
See
shit was
this movie
hilarious.
now.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie, man. It's fun. I gave it an 8.5. Right?
Yeah.
You're the host. You're supposed to move on.
All right. Featured review time. Talk about two movies from Ratchet Commander and Mark Layham. What two bores do you want to review first?
I might as well go in order and go with the 68 one.
Right, Spirits of the Dead. Now this is a
More like
horror
Spirits of the Trash.
I knew you weren't gonna like it. I knew it right away.
I've seen it before.
Really? When?
1968 show.
Oh yeah. Is that the
Didn't
one I
make
didn't
my
do?
top 10.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely very Frenchy, European-esque, so I kind of expected you not to like it. But
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's not that bad. I was just joking. Like I like the second segment the best, but
well, yeah, that's definitely the best segment is the second segment. But this is a horror anthology directed by three very prominent European directors who come to America to make this movie. We have a film by Fellini, of course, who is an absolute legend, according to Jason Price, one of the best directors who ever lived. Of course, he made 8.5, and this movie is his segment in this film is very much a lot of callbacks to that movie. There's a lot of things going on in his segment that's very reminiscent to 8.5. But we have Fellini doing his only horror credit is his segment in this movie, and it's, I guess you could call it a horror credit. We have a segment by the French director Roger Vadim, who made Barbarella and Vice and the Fur True and some other stuff. Then we have Louis Malle, who, of course, is French as well. He did Elevator to the Gallows and some other Frenchy films. So basically what this is it's just three Edgar Allan Poe tales, and each director took one and they made a film out of it. And how do you want to review it? Do you want to talk about each segment? All right, let's talk about the first segment with Jane Fonda. and it's called Metzingernstein.
Oh my God, Jane Fonda in this segment.
Well, she's like David Barbarella, and she's still hot today, man. That broad's hot, and she's like 85.
Oh my God, I was salivating.
But in this film, in this short, if you want to say, we follow Jane Fonda. She plays like this count. She's like this princess to this castle, and basically she has a cousin who is her neighbor, and they've never talked or anything like that. He thinks she's a pompous asshole, and she abuses her power and things like that. And one night she goes and she burns down his stables where all his prize horses live, and he ultimately dies in the fire, but one horse escapes, and she basically has a guilt trip because she feels bad that she killed her cousin, and she basically tries to tame it and makes it her own horse. That's basically about it.
What'd you think?
This is definitely the worst segment out of the three. I don't like period pieces as it is. Basically, all three of these are period pieces besides the last one. But like this one's like, what, Derek?
It's just no. I was just fucking the dog. My dog was fucking bothering me. But I was just gonna say, it's a weird one to watch, man. Because who plays her cousin in the movie?
Her husband, brother.
It's her
Peter
brother.
Fonda.
Peter Fonda. So it was like this weird like sexual tension that's coming between these two characters when they're staring at each other, and it's fucking weird to watch it because they're brother and sister in real life.
That's worse than cousin.
I know.
It feels very much like Peter Fonda's character should have be played by like what the hell's his name? The guy from Burnt Offerings. Oliver Reed. I feel like Oliver Reed should have played that character because it's a very it's a written character that fits his kind of acting style. I feel like, but I mean, this one really like doesn't go anywhere, and like
I think
it just,
the coolest part was like the beginning where like that person's like hanging from the tree and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fucking dope, and then I'm like, okay, this is fucking not dope.
Well, it's kind of a supernatural revenge story too, because the horses.
Well, it's like the horse supposed to be like the cousin's soul or something.
It's the embodiment of all the horses and the cousin inside one horse, and it's enchanting her as it goes on because she keeps.
Is that Mr. Freeze? Is that Tasty Freeze in the background? Sounded like it.
Yeah, there's ice cream truck going outside.
Ice cream.
My walls suck. These walls are. Yeah, my walls are pretty bad. Sorry about that, guys.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Washing machine, big deal. Ice cream truck outside, you can't control.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. To me, it's just like what. I didn't really get anything out of it. I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just there. It was just interesting. Well, the only thing that you could really get out of it is Jane Fonda and the fucking outfits that her husband at the time put her in.
Actually, didn't get a camel toe.
Yeah.
They're very Barbarella-esque, you know?
Yeah, this actually came out, I think, before Barbarella.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm surprised this is a Poe story. It doesn't really feel like...
No, I never read the original.
I know it's actually one of his first stories he actually publishes, this one, so it might be early Poe. Like, that kind of makes sense, too.
Yeah, sometimes with those adaptations, though, they're so loose that they don't even resemble the thing, so I don't know if it would be...
Yeah, because I know they actually... Because I did read, like, some stuff about the actual short story. They actually... The main character of the short story is a male, so they changed it to a female, so... That's one difference that they did. And, you know, like, some things like that, like... I think Jane Fonda's actually good in the role, you know? She's a bitch when she's fucking... bow and arrow and that with that hanging scene that we were talking about earlier. That's fucking.
It's like a kid too.
Yeah,
the kid's like 10, he's fucking hanging from a tree. But okay, let's move into the next segment. This is the William Wilson segment, and this segment we follow a man named William Wilson, and he the beginning of the short, he's like running through the square, and he goes to the church to confess to a priest about that he just killed a man. And as the film goes on, we learn more and more about the person that he murdered and how it's actually like a doppelganger of himself. And we follow him throughout his life as a child, and then as a mid-adult, and then present time. And we learn more and more about whenever like shit really starts to go down, like this doppelganger shows up and like eases the situation. You know, like I said, it's like his alter ego. But like I said, let's start off when he's a kid. Like he's like in like this military school kind of setting, but he clearly like runs everything, and all the other kids like follow his lead. But he's a total bastard, and this other ego of him shows up. He has the same name and everything like that, and like I said, he's more of a calm, collective kind of character. And then, do you have anything to add to that?
It's pretty much like
there's a cool scene of like this rat barrel thing.
Yeah. But then like the meat of the short comes in the middle of it, where we see like a now older version of our main character, and he's playing cards with this other like high mistress. You know, she clearly has enough money, but he's losing and he's losing and he's losing, and then he ultimately starts to cheat and he gets to win all the money back. He's basically just luring her in until she thinks that he has nothing left, but he ultimately just comes and steals all the money from her. But then the doppelganger shows up and shows everybody that he's a cheater, and he basically gets exiled from the town, and you know, all the rest of his life turns to shit. And basically the last part of this segment is him killing his doppelganger with an absolutely hilarious dummy scene that goes down as one of the best dummy deaths ever. Goes up, down.
One
Dude,
of the best. Come on, it was decent.
Up there with Dr. Butcher, MD.
No,
bad.
Man, definitely not. It
just
wasn't
looks,
even that good.
I mean, good. Like it's like the worst.
No,
dummy
I know
ever.
what you mean. I'm saying I've seen way better dummy deaths.
Yeah, like in Cannibal. What's that movie that me and Moodz really liked that you didn't like?
Nightmare
the Cannibal.
City.
Yeah, Nightmare City has a good one.
Nightmare City's hilarious.
Yeah, Nightmare
Dr.
City's
Butcher,
awesome.
Dr. Butcher, MD is definitely the worst dummy death ever.
Worst best.
The worst best, but this is definitely like the most like concrete, like followable story out of the three. Like, and it has an interesting narrative and everything like that. Like I said, it's definitely the best.
Yeah, I was actually really into like the whole card playing sequence and stuff. Like, I feel like this one actually captures the audience's attention a little bit better from the beginning and then all the way through. It's still, at the end of the day, though, I mean, it's not anything super special. Like, it's the best in the three, and I thought it was cool. But is it really anything that's like, oh man, that was awesome?
Yeah, it's like a doppelganger story, pretty much, and it's kind of weird the way that it's laced and told in some aspects of that, and because this was the first time watch for me, this movie, so maybe on a second watch I'll pick up on a few more things. But I did like the card scene; that was pretty cool. I think that was Bridget Bardot as the female. I liked them going back and forth with each other while they were playing cards. That was
and then he like, what was up with the like beating her thing? You think that's just like, know your damn role, woman, like of the time?
I just think he's an asshole.
Yeah,
I think that's what he owed for her, because she didn't have any money left.
I know, but it's like what, give me a blowjob or something. Like, I'm gonna beat you with a whip.
Power hungry.
I guess so, huh?
I was getting scared for everyone else.
Yeah. All right, and then the last segment up. This is the Fellini segment, and we follow a former actor, American actor, who is a huge drunk, and he agrees to go to Rome to shoot a movie in exchange for a brand new Ferrari, which is probably worth millions and millions of dollars today. Not probably, it is probably worth $1 million today, but he agrees to go to Rome to shoot a film in exchange for a Ferrari. and he's a drunk. And as the movie goes on, he has like this vision of this girl with this white ball, but it really doesn't go anywhere. That's like the most like 8.5 kind of symbolism in this movie is that girl with the white ball. Very David Lynchy, but that's kind of fucked up to say because this is way before David Lynch. But as he gets invited to like this ceremony where they're going to present him as the lead of the movie, and as it goes on, he gets more and more drunk and he starts to go crazy. And that's basically about it. And at the end of the movie, he takes his Ferrari and he drives drunk. And I don't know how much more to explain it, to be honest with you.
Well,
just...
yeah, pretty much it's like him facing the devil, pretty much, because the short story that this is based on is Fellini actually changed who the devil is in the short story, because in the original story that this is based off of, it's like this old man. And he's like, it wouldn't fit for like this type of character that is portrayed, because they only actually use like the end of the short story for this story. So he changed it to whenever you see that little girl on the screen, that's his vision of the devil.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the girl represents.
I never got that. That's weird. What's that heavy sigh about, you?
I didn't really care for this one either, honestly.
Well, it's very Fellini.
I don't know if I've seen any Fellini.
Yeah, they're very art house. Yeah.
It's very just implied. It's pretty much like a feature review.
Like, listen, I like some art house as much as the next guy. Like, hell, the last film we're reviewing tonight is super art house.
It's all art house.
But, like, what... Like, I don't know, man. Like, what do you get out of this?
This is a man's going downward spiral into drinking and facing his
demons, pretty much.
Yeah, deciding either if he's going to hit the bottle or is he going to, get his shit together and make this movie.
Did you
It's
like
basically
it?
about it. No.
I didn't mind it. It has some cool visuals.
I didn't mind any of these. Like, they're all watchable. They're all like, okay. Like, yeah, this one actually did have some good visuals, but it's just like I remember watching this way back like 4 years ago or something on YouTube, and I was just like, is this okay? Like, I don't even think this is horror, so I'm definitely not counting it, but it wouldn't have made it even if it was. And I don't know. I didn't get any more enjoyment out of it this time watching it 4 years later.
Yeah, he's just like a crazy actor. He just plays like a crazy drunk, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just very enticed with like Terrence Stamp's performance in it.
Yeah,
because I always liked him in roles and stuff, and he's really good in it. In this role as this drunken bastard actor who might have shades of pedophilia inside of, and that's why the devil is taking shape of this little girl also, because it's what he's attracted to. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, I was reading about it a little bit more like when I was watching it. So I was doing like a little bit of research of why they did the little changes to this, because I know the short story that this is based off of. So that's all I could really say without going too enticed with the ending.
Jeez, if Moodz was here, he'd be talking about it for like 40 minutes and be like, I have nothing else to say.
Well, I don't want to really spoil the ending if somebody does want to check it out either, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Knowing Moodz, he would have like 8 pages of shit to say about it. I just don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah.
I know Moodz like loves this.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh man. It didn't make it 60. Maybe it wasn't horror enough.
Well, he might have not seen it before either.
Oh,
well, he likes these movies. He likes this. He likes Valerie. He loves the next movie we're going to be talking about.
Valerie?
He likes these like Valerie, that one with the girl who's like, we reviewed it a couple shows back. It was like
the Weekend of Wonders.
Oh yeah. I like that better than this, I think.
I did too, but he likes those like slow burn, like no dialogue kind of movies.
Yeah.
Like I said, the next movie is very Moodz. It's very up Moodz alley.
Stone Tape?
No, Hagazussa, whatever the fuck it's called.
All right. What do
ratings.
you think for ratings?
I gave it a 6.
I gave it. Go ahead, Derek.
I give it like a 7 for first time. You know, I some of the stories were kind of like dull in some spots, but I can't say they weren't shot bad or anything. You know what I mean? It was beautiful to look at, and has some good like musical score behind it. So it enticed me enough to keep watching. So there's visuals.
I thought it was long and kind of boring, minus the second segment. But I did think that I thought that they were like as their own thing. Like if I would just watch one of them, I'd be like, oh, that was a pretty cool short, but nothing. You know,
to write home about.
Yeah, it's just kind of basic. I came in at a 5.5.
5.5. All right. Next up from Mr. Lechem, from the year 1972, we have a BBC horror sci-fi movie called The Stone Tape. So this one is, while working on a revolutionary project, a man, his former girlfriend, and other team members encounter a ghost. Well, that's basically about it. Thoughts?
Well, first of all, let me put it this way. Like, I understand the appeal to this film. Like, if you really put yourself in the time, 1972, this came out on Christmas night, like as a ghost story tale in the 70s and stuff like that, on TV, it's like a TV movie, or what they call it, a teleplay. Teleplay.
But like, isn't like there's like a shit ton of TV movies from 1972 that's like the main theme of the year is TV movies. I feel like they're all like this. They all have like that, like slow burn.
Well, yeah,
really
they don't
on,
show
kind of
as much and stuff like that. I think that there's way better TV movies than this one. But I'm saying, like, first of all, I feel like this appeals to British people more than it does me too.
But why do you say that?
I just think that honestly, I had a tough time with the accents. I thought a lot of them were pretty thick. And since it's a film that's a little bit older, the copy that I was watching was like the audio of the dialogue wasn't that high, so I actually couldn't hear a lot of what they were talking about at times, especially at the beginning. But I just think that these type of Christmassy, like, even though it's not like set on Christmas, like this type of tale, this like ghost story is like traditional with like British television and stuff like that. So
I think it's just like at the same time too, it's like the technology race of like trying to like develop like the next huge thing in technology was like super hot at the time.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like it's just like it's put together for the time. Like they were like, yeah, we're gonna get those Japs. It's like very like racist, like they're doing like slant eye jokes and stuff like that. It's just like very aged, let's just say that.
Yeah, I like the concept of this one, but I will agree it's a little too slow in some parts, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it's portrayed through being a play-like setting where the actors are actually, it feels like they're actually on a stage play.
Yeah.
In some scenes. So I do get that. It's very British BBC television from the 70s. It
totally feels like just straight BBC British television.
Well, basically, it's like the story is like we got like this technology firm that's like going into like this mansion in the middle of the valley, and basically they are trying to develop like the next big telecommunications thing, whatever, the next big technology kind of technology advancement, and they ultimately come across like this room in the middle of the house, and they all hear screams from this woman, but not everybody hears it, and they basically try to find out that it's different from every person if they either see the ghost or they hear the ghost, and like some people will see it and not hear it, but some people will see it, some people will hear it and not see it, that kind of stuff. So it's basically just like
they find a bunch of spam.
Yeah, it's basically just like a ghost story.
Yes. Who picked this one now? Mark Laham?
Yeah.
I think he's from the UK, isn't he? Or something around there. That makes sense.
I actually, because I posted on you guys' group page about this, and I asked him if he ever saw the Quatermass films, like the Hammer ones, the ones that Hammer produced.
Mm-hmm.
I would think, he said no, and he's like, I told him to definitely check out Quatermass in the Pit, which is the third in that series. It's kind of has this concept, but a little bit more of a budget, and it's really good. And I know John Carpenter's a fan of those movies because that's pretty much the basis for why he did Prince of Darkness. That's pretty much his version of like this type of concept and story idea. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of has that feel to it. But I dug this with the concept and stuff. And what was with that weird fucking alien dude that looked like Mutantis at the beginning? I thought this was gonna be some weird fucking.
And it's really like it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just like, oh, this guy's in an alien suit, and what the fuck are they trying to get across with it?
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. This could have been fucking great with this.
Like I said, it didn't really age very well.
Yeah, no, it didn't at all. It feels like what it,
I just love like all these guys are like so sexist to this girl. They're like, oh, we don't have to listen to what she has to say. She's wrong.
Oh,
Even
I felt
she's
so
like,
bad for her.
Yeah, like they're so sexist. They're like, oh, just because she's a woman, this bitch doesn't know anything. And they're like, oh, we're not going to listen to her. We're just going to do our own manly things. It's like, man, these people are so sexist. And it's like she's the only woman, so she like has no backbone in the situation. It's like, then why the hell did you bring her along if you're just going to like say that she's wrong the entire time?
Yeah. The scene where they're like, it's in the computer or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it just feels so dated.
Yeah.
It's in the computer, and
it's all like vector graphics.
And the computer looks like the giant candy bar computer in fucking Willy Wonka. I'm gonna tell it where to get the chocolate. It's like one of those fucking computers too.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think for ratings?
I give it like a 6.5. I enjoyed the concept and it kept me interested enough to go on, but it is fucking slow as all hell in some parts. It's just the way it is. I'll be honest. I thought it was shot well for what it was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And could have used some more music too. That's the thing. It was too quiet in some spots.
I think that's because it's a teleplay or something.
Yeah.
But the movie that I reviewed a couple weeks ago called the one with Audrey Hepburn, like that one's like very like play-like, and it wasn't as boring as this movie. I don't know.
What do you? I gave it 4.5.
It is 6.
I think personally it's a little below average for me, but I get the appeal of it. Like I said, if I seen this live during the time, I probably would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Main review from the year 2017, Hagazussa.
But getting its wide release in 2019, so this is a 2019 film technically.
A Heathren's Curse. In the 15th century.
Heathren's Curse?
Yeah, Heatens.
Heathren?
But it's Heathren, isn't that what I said?
I don't think so, buddy.
Okay.
Is it
anyway,
Heathen?
Heathen's Curse? Whatever. In the 15th century, a young goat herd. Sense. That's what it says. In the 15th century, a young goat herd living alone in a mountain hut feels a dark presence in the woods. That's what it says.
All right. So this is what? Is this German? What is
yes.
German, yeah.
German and Austria.
This movie's so Moodz. It's hilarious. Like, I knew he would love this movie. Like, you have to...
Dude, I really liked it a lot too, man.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Yeah. It's fucking...
I don't know. It's not my kind of movie, to be honest with you.
Dude, first of all, like, just the opening. Like, this film is so, like, cinematically good.
Exactly. I'm not saying, like, it's not like a beautifully shot film, but there's, like, it's little dialogue. It's all, like, avant-garde, like, very artsy-fartsy. Like, you have to, like... It's not, like, blatant. You have to piece together in your mind what it is going on, and, like,
honestly,
everybody...
it's not... like, you said that, like,
yeah.
and when I watched it, I was, like, expecting it to be like that. But, honestly, it didn't really have... Like, I didn't find really anything that I was confused about.
Well, it doesn't have like a concrete like narrative. I think, in my opinion, it's just like we just follow this girl and the shit that goes down, and that's basically about it. I mean, it's not like a deep, complex storyline going on.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's like The Witch. Like the more you watch it, the more you'll appreciate it. I don't know. That's just the way I feel about these kind of movies.
This is not as good as The Witch to me. I think there's a lot more to offer in The Witch, but like this one is. I really like this film a lot. I think that the setting feels so natural and real. To me, it feels like just very accurate to the time period, and like even like everything to the clothes, like the animal skins that they're wearing and stuff like that, like the bassinet that the baby's in, like everything. It just feels very of the time period piece.
Like I said, I feel like all that kind of stuff. It's just, I think this is just like a personal kind of feeling towards this movie. If you're gonna like it or not, I feel like if you like those, those slow burn like cinematic kind of movies, you're gonna like it. But if you're more of a kind of person who likes like a plot driven kind of film, I just don't feel like it's that kind of film for those kind of people. Well, I don't know.
Just so nobody's confused, like there is a plot, like there is a narrative to follow here. It's kind of like I
guess so.
Well, there is. I mean, it's about this girl and the traumatic death of her mother, and her living as like a hermit from the rest of like the town, its people.
But what's the point?
It's just a character.
The point is to follow her and what happens to her.
Yeah, it's a character study. It's like, say, like Maniac or Combat Shock. It's like one of those type of movies where you follow this character and their fucked up journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this woman is like, we don't know. She has a baby, but we don't know how or why, which is interesting to me. And she's. It opens up with her and her mom. The one thing that I was kind of slightly confused on was what was up with the mom. Did she just have like the Black Plague or something? Like what was up with?
She did. That's what that was.
Was it?
Yeah.
I just thought like the moment that those people appear outside of her house calling her witch, I just thought like something happened during that moment that fucked her up.
Well,
because it was just like so weird. Like, why are they calling her a witch? Like, is she a witch, or like does she just have that recluse kind of feeling towards her that makes people think that she's a witch?
I didn't take that she is a witch.
Yeah.
I didn't take it as that.
I didn't. I
took it more literal, like that they're just hermits and people who are secluded often are, mocked.
Backlashed.
Yeah. And I just took it as that, and then I took it that the mom had like the Black Death, and eventually died from it, and then I took it that the like the rat scene with the water, like I figured that was also a reference to the Black
that's
Death.
the rat that gave her the plague.
Yeah.
So and then like the whole psychedelic part is really cool.
That's probably like my favorite part of the movie is that whole scene.
Oh, especially what happens. I was like, holy fuck.
Oh, fucked up.
Yeah. I love that part. And I find that the sexual aspect of it is pretty interesting too.
Yeah.
Like she's getting turned on while milking the goats.
Because that's all she has, It's like she's been with those goats all the time, That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I agree.
But she's had to have some kind of intimate relationship with somebody pretty recently over the last year.
Well, the way that
unless she gets raped like she did later on in the movie.
That's how it feels like, because when the actual thing happens with the other scene where it actually happens again, she's not as shocked because I think it maybe
she's
happened
like
before.
numb to it. Yeah, that's kind of what I took as it might be too. But again, we're never really shown, so it's kind of like up for your own interpretation, which I'm always a fan of that type of narrative anyway.
Yeah.
It's just like a whole relationship between her and the friend is like, it's weird because like she acts so nice to her and like actually like gives her some kind of normalcy, and then she just fucks her over. For I don't know.
I was wondering if the apple was a reference to like a Snow White tale or something like that, or something.
Yeah, or it could go like Adam and Eve, like sin is.
Yeah, so like she took the fruit from the. Oh, that's actually I didn't even think of that. Yeah, she took the fruit, I guess, and the snakes, because there are snakes.
Yeah, there are snakes,
and the snakes don't make sense because as soon as I saw the snakes, I was like, dude, it's fucking winter. Snakes are not out in the winter at all. Like they.
Yeah.
So I think that is definitely a reference to.
But but the snakes, it's the mom that has the snakes, isn't it? So what is that?
Well, she has them later in the film too. Though.
Well, it's from her point of view too when we're supposed to see the snakes. So it could be just all on her fucking head as well, because the way the concept.
Like I said, I think the more you watch this movie, the more you appreciate it. I think.
Yeah,
like
Moodz actually just reviewed. If anybody's curious, Moodz and Mike Merriman and Jerry reviewed this over on the Fresh Cuts podcast. So check that out because Moodz canceled on us to do that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so check that out. I'm actually curious. I'll listen to it because I'm curious to see how they break it down, because apparently they break it down pretty good. But I love this movie, man. I thought that the visuals were really, really good too early on. Especially,
I would have to assume the visuals have to be good because there's no dialogues. I mean, there's a little bit of dialogue, but there's barely any dialogue.
Yeah.
So if you have no dialogue, you have to have good visuals.
There's not even really like a music score. The music score when it does kick in is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the scenes where like you see like this mountain and you just see like the fucking atmosphere ruling from the mountain, like this whole mountain is
and like there's like a shot of like the fog moving in through the pine and stuff like that.
Oh,
it looks so good. And the marshy like swamp area, like everything, like dude, I was just enamored and in love with the not even just like the visuals, like I don't mean just visuals, I mean the locations and the setting and the backdrop and the atmosphere, like all that combined in a visual sense was great to me. And whenever you say like there's not much dialogue in the film, there's technically not, but there's the film is told through action. Like we're actually, it's not like the film is just a character sitting there. Like she's doing something every day.
She has
watching her.
Yeah, well, no shit. If you don't have dialogue, you have to show it in some way or another. So of course it's going to be
the dialogue's through movement. Essentially.
Yeah.
It's done through acting.
Yeah.
Very much like all the movies that are similar to this are the same way, pretty much. Because you have to have some other way to tell the story if you're not going to have dialogue, and the way that they tell the story in this is through scenery and through actions and acting. Because like Derek said, there's not really any music, so you can't tell it in that way. See, there's only pretty much two other ways to tell the story, and that's through aesthetics and acting, and that's what they have to do. So,
and the woman who plays Auburn, I think, does a really good job at the body language. It kind of has like a Repulsion feel, this movie too, with like the containment of her being inside all alone with the baby. Oh, like my mouth dropped a few times during this movie because of where this fucking movie was going. I'm like, oh my god, and it's fucking funny. Like
I wanted more, man. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, this movie's like an hour 40 something, dude.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I looked and checked the time. Fucking 10 or 15 minutes left, and I'm like, what the fuck? It just flew by for me.
But that's good if a movie's paced like that for you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because I always complain about length of movies.
Especially these type of movies too. Like those slow burn movies. If
this movie's slow burn as fuck.
But I was so into it the entire time, man. And this is that, like, it was like, even though there's not much horror that happens until like the end of the film, the whole film like creeped me out. Like I was just like watching it at night, and I'm just like, man, this is fucking eerie. It's just like the atmosphere, man.
It's because even though it doesn't have music, you hear like these weird fucking
the wind howls, dude. You can hear the howling of the wind outside. I love it.
Yeah, it's fucking.
All you
great.
motherfuckers like this movie. I think personal wise, it's just not my kind of cup of tea personally. But I appreciate it for what it is. I do like art house films, but I feel like this is just a little bit too art housey for me.
I feel like it's not that art housey though. It's art housey, but I feel like it's not like the fucking Spirits of the Dead.
I just feel like it's like, yeah, I get that, but I just feel like this kind of movie that you have to like look at and like really watch and dissect it, and like there's so much stuff going on. Like
you only watched this movie once, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, well, I watch everything once. I just feel like there's like so much stuff going on. Like Horsehead, like there's so much stuff going on. Like you'll never fully get everything in one viewing. That maybe as more people watch it, and more people start to write about it, like The Witch again. More people watch it, and more people write about it and talk about it, and all the things that are going on with it. That maybe I'll get a more appreciation for it. I just think like. Personally, these kind of movies I don't really like to watch. I like a little bit more interactions and dialogue and stuff like that.
This film was so far up my alley. Like,
just I'm surprised though. I know you like I know you like atmospheric kind of movies. I just didn't think you would like it as much as.
I also like I guess it's undervalued in terms of like what people think about me when I watch movies. I'm actually a fan of period pieces. Like, I love period settings. I've always have. You know what I mean? So, like, that's something that, like, I don't know. I just get sucked into those, you know, when they're done right and stuff like that. And I love low dialogue movies. I love films that you're with one character and you're just focusing on them. Like, these movies always work for me. And on top of that, I feel like there's a lot to kind of take away from this movie when you dig deeper into it, like you said with the apple and the snakes and stuff like that, because we know the serpent is what tricked Adam and or mainly Eve to, you know, take the fruit. And stuff. I think there's a lot of stuff that I don't even really know, but even on the surface, what I took from it, I really liked. Like, there was something like something happens, and then the next day, the baby won't feed from her.
Well, fuck, I can't remember what happened now.
Was that after or before the rat scene?
Isn't it after she gets the skull of her mother?
It might
after she brings it into the house, the baby stops feeding from her.
Yeah, I can't remember what exactly happens, but I remember seeing that and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I think that means something. That's intentional.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. It's after she brings the skull of her mother into the house.
Everything in this film feels intentional, and I love movies that are like that, where everything has like been planned out and like everything means something. And I don't know who this director is. Has he done anything else?
No. This is his first film.
Good job, bro. I'm very.
But The Witch was the guy's first film too, you know.
Well, Eggers, yeah.
Yeah, I know that he was actually going to title this movie Hexen from the commentary I listened to, but he changed it because they were making The Witch too at the same time they were making this movie. It wasn't just they were making it at the same time, so he didn't want to. He kind of wanted to change the title to get it away from The Witch when it did came out. You know what I mean?
Because they are very similar in like aesthetics and
the
way that they're paced.
Yeah. But anyway, ratings?
I give it an 8.
Want me to go next?
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie, man. I
just say it. We all know what you're gonna give it.
I'm gonna give it
your favorite rating.
No, I'm not. I still don't get a few things, and I think on a third or 3 watches in, I would probably give it that because I fucking love this movie, man. It's fantastic. Great atmosphere, great score, and great performance by the lead actress in this film. And some moments that really creep the fuck out of me. So I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. So there you go, Jeremy.
All right. And me personally, I liked it a lot. I can't go 10. I rarely go 10. I gave it a 9. A 9.
Moodz gave it a 10.
Did he?
Well, we all know what Moods' number 1 this year is going to be.
That's not necessarily true. He has had multiple 10s in a year before.
I've only had it once.
I've never had it.
Yeah,
Yes, I have. Have I?
You only usually have 110 a year.
No, I don't.
It Comes at Night, that was a 10.
I normally don't have 10s, period.
Was Landmine Goes Click a 10? Would you give
9.5.
Landmine Goes... Yeah.
And Sacrament a 9, Maniac 9.5, and my number one of 2015 was, I think, that was Landmine Goes Click, and then 16 was The Witch at a 9.5, and then 2017 was
It Comes at Night.
It Comes at Night at a 10. What was under that though? What was my number 2? Because I think did I give that a 10 as well?
Wasn't...
I forget.
Let me check. 17.
Yeah.
You gave JP Get Out 9.5.
Okay.
I
And
know
then
Carly gave 2 10s on that show. She gave like Hounds of Love and It Comes at Night.
yeah.
I
And
gave
then
2 10s that show.
This, and then last year, my number one was, the hell was it? 2018. What came out in 2018?
The Hereditary.
Oh yeah,
Hereditary,
I think I
yeah.
gave that a 9.5. So I've only given 110 in the entire history of our current year top 10s.
And It Comes at Night.
Yeah.
It's people have forgotten about already.
Yeah.
All that hoopla for nothing.
Yeah, I got the Blu-ray. I watched it here and there. It's the press one.
I've only watched it once, and that's probably all I ever watch it. I want to keep the memory.
It's an aesthetically beautiful film, though.
Yeah. So far this year, I've seen a handful of. My top 10 is starting to come along to where, like, at first I was like, man, this sucks, but I'm actually probably have like 5 solid films that I'd be happy with in the top 10 right now. Which is almost like we're a couple days from halfway through the year, so hopefully
jack shit.
Hopefully the second half is a little bit better.
Any films you're excited for?
Yeah, I'm excited for Aj's new flick. It's
Yeah,
a lot
me too.
different from what you would expect, I guess.
Really?
But, well,
The Hills Have Eyes is a pretty similar idea, to be honest.
really? A killer
I mean, it's
crocodile film?
Well, it's just like a people stuck in a situation that
That's
they can't get out of.
That's not the same, dude. This is a fucking creature movie.
I guess so.
wanna see
That
Scary
looks really
Stories.
fun.
Yeah, Scary Stories looks good.
I'm looking forward to 3 from Hell, obviously.
Yeah.
Child's Play, I'm looking forward to.
It Chapter 2.
It Chapter 2, I'm looking forward to, which I have been avoiding the trailer for that.
Yeah.
What else?
Quentin Tarantino's new movie.
Yeah, not very horror looking.
I know, but
yeah,
he said
Tarantino's
movie.
new flick. There's some good horror on the horizon at least.
Let me look at the box office Brawl spreadsheet. Annabelle, Midsummer looks good.
That looks good. Yeah, Midsommar looks awesome. I know Edgar's Lighthouse is coming out this year.
Yeah, that looks good.
I want to see The Lodge really bad. I know Jeremy mentioned that earlier.
Well,
Yeah.
there was one that I seen last year that made top 10s in the festival circuit, and nobody's talked about it since, but it was like Lifeboat or something like that. It was like about people stuck on a boat that looked kind of cool. I like stuff like that.
Doctor Sleep comes out.
Flanagan's new flick.
Yeah.
Godzilla, of course. That's next week.
Yeah. Definitely going
Yeah, I think the second half of the year usually is better, and I think that it's no surprise. I hope we end the decade off correctly, because it's kind
Well, I
of...
still have to watch Braid. Everybody was talking about that movie's pretty good.
Did you guys check out The Wind yet?
No.
The what?
The movie The Wind?
Oh, that's IFC, right?
Yeah, it's like a psychological Western horror.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I gotta rent it. I haven't watched it yet, though.
Even Moodz hasn't watched that many movies. 22.
I don't know what I'm at.
He watched this one called Video Man that I think sounds pretty cool. Saw it on Letterboxd.
Poor Brandon has to do a top 19. He must be going fucking crazy.
It'll come around at the end of the year. But what
Yeah,
was
the
the
top 19.
I do want to eventually do a top 10 of the decade. But I
don't know
think
what
we
my
should.
number one will be on that list.
I think we should wait until we do 2010 or 2011, 12, or wait, 2010, 11, and 12 top 10 shows first. But
That'd be cool.
I don't see anything knocking out my number one.
which I don't know what it is, and I don't want to know. So
How do you not know what it is,
He
dude?
said it in the Facebook group every time somebody posted about it.
really?
Yeah.
It was in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
No, I mean for this year.
Oh, for this year.
Yeah.
We were talking about the decade one.
The decade one.
No,
I said
I already know that. I'm just saying like this year. I don't want to know what your top number one is
I think The Witch would be your number one, to be honest.
of the decade.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like Insidious.
Really?
Oh, I love Insidious.
As your favorite film of the decade?
Yeah.
I can't think of what all came out, but Insidious is one of my favorite movies of all time. So
I never knew that.
it was in my top 50.
Yeah, but that's like... it wasn't high on your list, though.
Was it not? I don't know. Where did it hit?
I don't remember. But I really do think The Witch would be close.
No, I do love The Witch, and The Witch was like number. What? It wasn't that high, was it?
It was your number one.
No. I mean, in my top 50.
Oh, I don't remember.
Damn it,
I'm trying to think of like
now I
other
wanna look.
movies. Other movies that we've talked about this decade that you're like super high on was
Let the right
just,
one in.
Yeah, The Witch, It Comes at Night,
Mm-hmm.
Hereditary, Maniac.
Insidious was my number 35. Witch was 38.
Maniac. Yeah, I don't know what else from this decade. you were high.
Technically, based on my top 50, Insidious is the only film the highest for that decade.
Neon Demon you really liked, I remember.
Yeah, but technically, Insidious is ranked higher than anything else.
I wonder if Starry Eyes would make my list. Maybe.
There's some other films that I really like too, like Mother's Day, that I don't really talk about.
Mother's Day was good. Do you ever do that? I can't remember.
Did
That's
we
so
ever
long.
do it?
Review it on the show.
No, I love Mother's Day.
Weren't we
though.
supposed to? Didn't we do it on something?
I think we were gonna do an OG versus remake.
Yeah.
For Mother's Day last year.
I
but
remember we
couldn't do
watched.
it.
No, I thought we watched it like a long time ago, like
Oh.
JF1 era.
No, I never watched it for the show. Anyway,
remember.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 160.
I guess
All right.
I'll take us out of here.
Okay, once again, my amazing hosting abilities came through. Again, thank you everybody for listening to episode 160 of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror Podcast. So if you want to follow the man Moodz himself, you could do so at youtube.com/Moodz616. Follow JP on his channel, youtube.com/doubleshotj. Follow me on my channel, youtube.com/NESWorld22. Check Derek over out on the Cinema Attack. He's having some famous director come on the show pretty soon.
No, I'm not, man. Can I shout out my two other shows real quick?
No. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No More Room in Hell and Underwater Kaiju from Outer Space.
Wait, you're a host on No More Room in Hell?
I've been on the last fucking 7 episodes.
I didn't know that. I haven't listened to any, so.
I'm on also the promo. Mike
Really?
says my name. Yeah.
Huh. Who is Corey still on there?
Yeah.
So it's 4 of you guys then?
Yeah, we have fun discussions. Actually, if you listen to the latest episode, it's fucking kind of funny.
How the fuck do you guys do another show? God damn, I don't really have time to do this shit.
Yeah, but like Mood says, this show is like a fucking marathon. Like if you were doing like hour to 2 hour shows on here, you would have time to do other shit.
Yeah, our latest episode is of Big Bad Wolves and the Treatment, which is actually a show I picked. So check that one out. Good discussions on those two movies.
Treatment kicks ass.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, it's a very depressing discussion. This is
It's in my top 50, like most depressing movies. Please buy a t-shirt, $24.99 shipped. You can email me at nesruler22@gmail.com or you 22shotsmoodsanhorror.com, and there's now a store page up there thanks to JP. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/22shotspodcast. Leave us an email at the 22shotsofmoodhorror@gmail.com. Peter hasn't left us any voicemail since we banned him, JP.
Nope.
I'm surprised. 724-426-6665. Join us on the Facebook page, facebook.com, search bar 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror Podcast. Please support the Patreon to get the sand sucked out of my vagina, patreon.com/22 Shots Podcast. And please buy a shirt on Terror Threads. I'm just going to say that because it's on there, and I don't know why it hasn't been taken out. And that should do it, everybody, for episode 160 of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror Podcast. We'll be back next week with the sound effects loud and clear for episode 161 of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror Podcast. We'll be digging into the top 10 of 1972.
Yeah, but that's not next week.
Or 2 weeks next episode. Whatever, it's the next episode, June 9th. It's coming. It's coming, folks. Get ready for one of the worst years of the top 10 yet. No, I'm just joking. It's okay. But that should do it, everybody. And fuck exploding heads. Yeah. Bye.
Deuces.